other words, LA is hot. And on the road in Colorado, where expectations remain a mile high. Shell-shocked in the desert. Now a return to New York. What does this man have in store for his former coach? And there's a surprise leader atop the Eastern Division. Dallas wins! Can Tony Graziani get it together in Philly and help the Soul claim the title Beast of the East? Let's go!
Come on, feel the thunder, there's a rumble in the house.
Nassau Coliseum in New York rumbling with a matchup of AFL legends today as the Arizona Rattlers come desperately seeking victory against the New York Dragons, undefeated on their home field this year. Arizona and the AFL's all-time yardage leader Hunky Cooper have gone to the Arena Bowl the last 3 seasons, but they've stumbled to a 1-3 start this year. Good news for them today, the return of Cedric Bonner, the league's all-time quarterback win leader, ready to go after missing the last 3 games injured. New York is 2-1, both wins coming here at home. Quarterback Aaron Garcia looks to throw his 650th touchdown pass today, and he's got a dangerous trio of receivers as targets, led by Kevin Swain, the former New York Jet, who caught 5 touchdown passes in last weekend's win. Alan Bestwick, Charles Davis, ready to go.
And it should be a lot of fun, shouldn't it? These are 2 teams that, New York wants to hold the home field advantage. And as you said, Arizona needs to win in a big way.
Desperately seeking victory in just week 5 of the season. Arizona won the toss. They've deferred. They'll kick in their road white jerseys. New York in the home dark jerseys, ready to get first possession of the ball. It's Will Holder from his own end zone with some running room. Nice cutback, nothing between him and the goal line. An opening touchdown return for Will Holder for New York. No flags on the field. Nothing like a little 54-yard return to get your game and your crowd going, huh?
A nifty 54-yard return. Will Holder showed a lot of patience as a return guy. Most guys get it, just want to take off and bust it right up through the wedge. But he showed patience, let his blocks form, made a couple of nice cuts and moves himself, ran through 1 tackle, and then got to the corner and was off to the races.
Kicker for New York for the point after try is Rob Baronis, and he is good. And quickly, it's 7-0 New York, as Arizona coach Todd Shell looks on in consternation.
Watch Will Holder, number 26, with the ball. Lets his blocks form. And right there, he gets away from 1 tackler. And then here, when he runs through the tackle by number 93, I believe that's number 93, John Frank. He got to the corner, and that was it. Terrific job by Will Holder and his kickoff return unit.
Will Holder with his 2nd kick return of the season for a touchdown, and the New York Dragons quickly go up on the Arizona Rattlers by a score of 7-0. Alan Bestwick with Charles Davis. Thanks for looking in on our Week 5 AFL on NBC coverage. For the Arizona Rattlers, they're 1-3 coming into this game. Their coach, Todd Shell, says they could be 4-0 if they take care of the football. They're -3 in turnovers.
Yeah, and right now they really want some kickoff coverage, too. They gave up 2 of those in the opener against Grand Rapids. But taking care of the football should be taken care of today because of the return of Cedric Bonner. Their all-league quarterback. He's missed the last 3 ball games. All of them losses due to a knee injury that he suffered in the season opener against Grand Rapids. Why will they take care of the ball better with Cedric? Because he's a veteran of this league. In his 12th season, he knows where the ball needs to go on every play. And if he can't get it downfield to receivers, he'll carry it himself using his big frame to hurdle into the end zone. Cedric Bonner, one of the all-time greats in arena football, not just an athlete, but very intelligent.
And for the New York Dragons, when their offense gets on the field, they'll be led by quarterback Aaron Garcia. And the key for the game for New York today, very simple, keep Garcia on his feet.
And everyone loves a simple formula, don't they? In the 2 wins for the New York Dragons, Aaron Garcia has not been sacked. In their 1 loss this season, he went down 4 times. That tells you all you need to know. When he has time, he gets it downfield as well as anyone who's ever played in this league. Twice he's thrown for over 100 touchdowns in a season. And last week when he had time, 7 touchdown passes for Aaron Garcia. One of the best ever to play in arena football.
Garcia looks like he's been in a rumble, but that wasn't from a football game. He caught an elbow from one of his linemen in practice earlier this week.
It looks like he took on Hillary Swank,
yeah.
$1 million baby.
No kidding. All beat up, black eye, 5 stitches over his right eye. But Aaron Garcia will be tough when he gets on the field a little bit later on. So New York, after the opening kick return, has a 7-0 lead, and Baronis to kick off to Sia Burley back deep for the Arizona Rattlers. And the ball hit the scoreboard, and that is going to come out to the 20-yard line for the Rattlers. Great field position for their first offensive possession. Yeah, the scoreboard is an impediment, but unlike baseball, it's in every arena, and the rule is it's the kicker's responsibility to miss it.
By rule, it will be placed at the 20-yard line. First down.
And each kicker has to adjust to each arena and understand where the scoreboard and other impediments are and try and work his way around them. They make this penalty pretty punitive. When you get down to it, 20 yards you're giving up. In this league, that's a lot of yards, only 30 more yards to the end zone.
Todd Shell's Arizona Rattler offense goes to work. 1st and 10, near midfield. Cedric Bonner, number 13, the quarterback. Throws near side, little skipper to Randy Gatewood, and it goes incomplete and will bring up 2nd down. And we check our Netscape starting lineups. The offensive formation for the former Arena Bowl champion Arizona Rattlers. Bonner, more wins as a starting quarterback than anyone else in the AFL, and his very talented targets, Gatewood and Sia Burley particularly, number 5. He catches the majority of the passes for the Rattlers.
And if they wanted to make a change up and throw the ball to a lineman, Wendell Gaines, number 89, is a terrific target.
Burley, the motion man, on 2nd down and 10. Bonner throws for Burley, pulls it in just across the New York 20-yard line. Going to be good for about 11 yards and an Arizona 1st down. And back to the Netscape starting lineups for the New York Dragon defense. The front 3 that will attempt to put some pressure on Cedric Bonner today. Stacey Evans, big number 99, key acquisition for the Dragons over the offseason.
He was the lineman of the year for the Georgia Force last year, a terrific veteran. And in the defensive backfield, a rookie, Billy Parker, number 7, is playing defensive specialist. He figures to get plenty of work today from the talented Arizona Rattlers receivers.
1st and 10. Quick pass to the outside, right through the hands of Gatewood and into the stands. First souvenir of the day. And it goes incomplete and brings up 2nd down and 10.
And that play was set up pretty well, because not only will they test Billy Parker by running receivers at him, they want to check out how physical he is. So what they did was they took Hunky Cooper, number 14, one of the best ever to play this game, and ran him at Billy Parker on a wide receiver screen as the blocker. And he and Billy Parker went helmet to helmet on that one. They're going to bring Gatewood inside if he had caught the football, and that play had a chance of breaking pretty big.
Parker tied for the AFL lead in interceptions just 3 games into his rookie season of this brand of football. Outside throw, Parker defending on Sia Burley. Bonner's pass incomplete, and it brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Arizona Rattlers. Billy Parker, what a story this is. Kid out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, just outside of Richmond, decided to come up here on an open tryout. He and his dad, William, got in the car, drove from Richmond to New York. Why this team? Because it was the closest to Richmond. Got lost on the way here, got rear-ended on the way here, then showed up for the tryout. Found out he was here with about 200 other guys. Made it through the open tryout to the next day, which was an invitational tryout. Made it through that, and he's on the field on a 3rd down and 10, trying to stop the Rattlers on their first offensive possession.
And doing quite well. 3 interceptions already in his young career.
Bonner for the end zone, over the head and off the fingertips of Randy Gatewood, and it's incomplete, brings up 4th down. Chris Angel defending for New York.
That would have been a touchdown, because Randy Gatewood had broken free. And what we've seen so far out of throws from Cedric Bonner, 1 drop by Randy Gatewood, but the others, he's just missing by a hair. A little bit of the timing off right now, because Ced Bonner has not played in the last 3 ball games. So it'll take a little while to get the rust off between he and his receivers. I expect them to be tuned up pretty quickly.
So 4th down from the New York 19. Line to gain is the 9-yard line for a fresh set of downs. Bonner with time, throws just out of the reach of Sia Burley. It's incomplete, and the ball goes over to New York on downs. Coach Todd Shell looking to go for the 1st down instead of the field goal. And Cedric Bonner with a very shaky start on his opening offensive series.
But Todd Shell told us on our conference call that 95% of the time he's going to go for it on 4th down because of the guys he has running the offense. And we talked about Billy Parker, the defensive specialist who's a rookie for New York. They went after him on 3 of the last 4 plays. He held up quite well, and the ball goes over on downs to New York.
So our first look at Aaron Garcia and the New York offense. Garcia throws downfield. Mike Horacek. Incomplete, looking for flags, but there'll be none. Terrence Joseph defending. There's a flag in the offensive backfield, though.
Back around where Aaron Garcia is, oftentimes that's roughing the passer.
Can I get a personal foul? Roughing the passer. Hitting the passer in the head with the helmet. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down. I can't see.
Call from Bill Athan, the referee today, and after the incomplete pass, New York's going to get some bonus yards.
There's Garcia, and why is the penalty called? By the way Bo Kelly took him down and drove him into the turf after the ball was gone. I think the hit initially was fine, but they like to take care of the quarterbacks in this league, and the way that Bo drove him into the turf allowed Bill Athan, the referee, to pull the flag and drop it. And everyone in the league knows it's a quarterback-driven league. They will be taken care of.
So Todd Shell can't be happy with the way things have started. Of course, the other dynamic in this game today, the fact that Todd Shell was last year's coach of the New York Dragons, and this is his first return to what used to be his home building.
His 3rd AFL team now, started with San Jose, did an unbelievable resurrection project with New York. Remember when he took over for them, they were like 1-7 or something in that neighborhood, took them to the playoffs his first year and was coach of the year. Then last year won the division, but didn't go to the playoffs because division champs were not assured a spot in the playoffs. That's been rectified for this year, but he's moved on to Arizona, and now he's trying to get the Arizona Rattlers back to the Arena Bowl where they've been the last 3 seasons.
Todd Shell had been the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Rattlers before embarking on his head coaching experience, and his family was still living in the Phoenix area while he was coaching here in New York. And when the opportunity came up to move to the Phoenix team, it just made life a lot easier for him, frankly.
It's a natural fit, and you know, the Rattlers organization wanted him to return home, but don't think he didn't agonize over the decision.
Oh, yeah.
He really enjoys the ownership here, enjoyed the players, but I think, you know, family just ended up winning out over the rest of the football decisions.
Had an equipment timeout while Jermaine Miles adjusted a contact lens, and
great move.
Things all askew for the New York offense, and flags are down. Kevin Swain was about 20 yards downfield before the ball was snapped.
Offside. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of Robin Williams in the movie The Best of Times. His best moves were made when the ball wasn't snapped. You know, he'd go running downfield, no one else was in motion, wide open every time. Kevin Swain doesn't need that advantage, though. He gets open when the ball's in play.
He's fast. 5th-year player out of Wayne State, spent a few years, 5th year in the AFL, spent a few years with the New York Jets of the National Football League. 1st and 15 for New York. Garcia throws near side. There's the man who took the opening kick back for a touchdown, Will Holder, and a flag down on the play. Terrence Joseph, the defensive stop for the Arizona Rattlers on an 11-yard gain. Let's check the flag.
I think it's going to be holding. I think that Clarence Lawson held Kevin Swain as he tried to get off the line of scrimmage and had just too much jersey and too much cloth for too long. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be from what I saw.
It's Bill Athan, gentleman in the white hat, the referee for today's game, huddling with the rest of his crew. Arizona, penalties have been a problem.
Holding defense number 27. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Arizona's second to last in the league in terms of penalties.
Right there in the slot, number 27 in white. See the hold he had on number 3, Kevin Swain? It's a 5-yard rule in terms of the bump. Got beyond the 5 yards, still had a hold of him. Good call by the officials.
And let me just clarify, when I say second to last in the league, that means second most penalized team in the AFL. It has been a problem.
Take a look at that. Turnovers have been a problem this year. Already 9, only 22 last year. And penalties, average about 12 penalties per game.
Mike Horacek on the quick receiver screen. Bo Kelly rides him out of bounds for Arizona. And a short gain of 4 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down for the New York Dragons. Horacek kind of with a reunion, getting back together with Aaron Garcia. Before this New York Dragons team came to New York, they played in Des Moines, Iowa as the Iowa Barnstormers. And Horacek and Aaron Garcia, who was their quarterback back in Iowa, had a whale of a season together in 2000.
In 2000, it was just tremendous. Aaron Garcia was first team All-AFL, and Kevin Swain, Mike Horacek was the Offensive Player of the Year with 46 touchdown catches.
Garcia with time, back of the end zone, over the top of Kevin Swain, and his flag's coming in, and probably going to be offensive interference.
I think it's a good call, Alan. I like the way, I think you saw the same thing I did. Clarence Lawson ended up being the receiver on the play from his defensive back position. He ran the pattern better than Kevin Swain. Swain thought the ball might be intercepted, ended up pushing off at the end of the play. Now let's see if the officials saw it the way that we saw it.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen.
No, and guess what? They get the final call.
That's absolutely right. So consecutive penalty flags as we await the decision. Obviously, the officials huddling with Arizona.
Pass interference, offense, number 3. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
We all know he meant to wave the other way.
Right, but you know, Bill Athan always agrees with you, Alan. Have you noticed that? You know, when you pick up something, Bill Athan confirms it for you. Well, I got to talk to him because with me, that's a problem.
Oh, you kind of stray off the ranch a little bit?
Well, I think I've got the right call. Bill tells me I'm wrong. So we're going to work on that today.
Oh, okay. We'll see. 3rd down and 6 for New York. Ball at the about 12.5-yard line going in for the Dragons.
See if they play zone on this play, and they are.
Garcia with plenty of time. Makes some room for himself. Flags are down, and the ball falls incomplete. Looks like Kevin Swain was the closest New York receiver, and we'll check the penalties. This one may turn out to be holding the other way.
That one came from the middle of the field. The back judge, Greg Wilson, threw his flag on that one. Let's see what he has.
Illegal contact, defense number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Oh, that hurts.
So they got Terrence Joseph probably outside the 5-yard zone with the contact. Watch Swain, number 3, working on Joseph, 25, well beyond 5 yards, and Joseph still has a hold of him. The defensive backs have made the calls easy for the officials by continuing to latch on beyond the 5-yard zone.
You had him in 3rd down. The ball fell incomplete. Now you've given New York a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and goal. Garcia throws. Horacek. Touchdown, Dragons. Did we say costly penalties?
Can never give a team as talented as New York extra downs and extra possessions. It's like in a basketball game. You must rebound the ball when a team misses a shot. Here they had them on 3rd down for a stop. They give a fresh set of downs, and on 1st down, Horacek with an out pattern beats Joseph to the corner, and of course Garcia delivers right on target.
Rob Baronis on to try the point after for the New York Dragons. Chris Bowden, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Hooked it left, no good. Remember that later in this ball game. Those things have a way of coming back to haunt you in the AFL. 3-play drive, 31 yards, aided by a couple of key Arizona penalties. And Mike Horacek, the touchdown grab from Aaron Garcia.
Cobra 6, this is Spectre 6.
Target acquired, over.
Target identified.
Element search for Hotel Victor Tangos 2 and 8. Execute assault time now.
Welcome to the Subway AFL on NBC Studio. I'm Al Troutwig at 30 Rock, joined by Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Tommy Maddox, who knows all about the AFL. You've come a long way. So has this league. This doesn't feel like the New Jersey Red Dogs at all, does it?
No, it doesn't. The league really is headed in a great direction with a lot of new owners coming in and pouring a lot of money into it.
I'm interested, Tommy, you've played at every level. Kevin Swain, he's had a taste of the NFL, but now he's back in the AFL. What do you think that does to his approach to the game?
Well, I don't think it does anything. I think he's excited about being out there playing, being the guy, and making plays for his team. And I think that it's good for him. It's good for the locker room. Guys in the AFL, they like to kind of pick the brain of the guys that have been in the NFL and what it's like and what they're trying to get to.
We'll be breaking down our regional coverage at halftime, plus we'll have the result of our player fan poll. Who's got the strongest arm in the AFL? Join us. Let's go back to Alan and Charles.
Back at the Nassau Coliseum, 13-0 New York Dragons. Defensive stop. Then Arizona giving away a key penalty on a 3rd down. And the Arizona Rattlers find themselves with an early hole to dig out of here on the road.
And that's been a problem for them. They've been down big numbers in a couple of their losses thus far this year. 25 points down in the first half to the Orlando Predators. Down big again in their last loss. They don't want to have to do this. This drive, very important to them right now. They need points on the board.
Evan Lavasek making the kick return appearance for Arizona, back off injured reserve. He's got running room and he's gone. Evan Lavasek with his 12th career kick return for a touchdown. And there's a momentum changer in favor of Arizona.
And what a pickup for the Arizona Rattlers in the offseason. 56 yards on the return by Evan Lavasek. He's been a terrific player in this league for a while with the Albany and then Indiana Firebirds. And when that franchise folded, he went to the dispersal, and look who he ends up with. The Arizona Rattlers, his first game action of the year because he's had a pulled hamstring. And now he gets his first action and gets his team right back into the game.
The Arizona kicker is Danny Kite. On Thursday, he was a special education teacher in Carmel, Indiana. And he bounces that one off the right upright. It is an interesting story of Kite. We'll talk about that more on his next appearance. Watch the hole open up for Evan Lavasek.
He's so excited to be back on the field, and this is a specialty of his. He's been a terrific kick returner his whole career, but look at how the wall formed and takes him right up the chute there. And he's in the best runners don't just use their feet, they use their eyes. And he saw where the hole was and then used his tremendous speed to take it the rest of the way.
Kick returns for touchdowns have been the specialty of the 30-year-old out of Gilbert, Arizona. Evan Lavasek taking it back all the way for the Arizona Rattlers now.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Are you ready? Wow! Go! Wow! Are you ready? I can't do this. Go! No way! Not even for some Bud Light?
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
See you, dude! Wait!
It's all here. This is Hall's. And this is Hall's Fruit Breezers. A different kind of taste sensation from Hall's that'll give your dry, scratchy throat a cooling lift. Hall's Fruit Breezers. Treat your throat.
Pick it up, Stinky.
Me? You got no stamina.
Only Odor Eaters has Sorbitex technology to absorb sweat and destroy odor on contact.
Get tough with foot odor. Get Odor Eaters Ultra Durable Insoles.
Thank you for calling ADT Security Services.
I just wanted you to know that security system saved me twice.
You all have given me peace of mind.
I tell everybody I see, get an ADT security system.
Like these customers and millions more, you'll feel more secure with ADT in your home. ADT helps protect your family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save over $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. And you may save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader. By Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real, it's all here. And by Netscape, low-cost internet service. Netscape, just the net you need. Got some nets of a different kind here at Nassau Coliseum. A couple of kick returns for touchdowns in the opening quarter, and a 13-6 ball game with New York about to get the ball back. It's Will Holder deep to receive for New York, and he's not going to get a chance to. Whoa, that is a great one. Right into the trash can. Did you see it? Ball out of bounds and straight into that trash can over there against those bleacher seats.
Free kick out of bounds.
I know a lot of kickers.
20-yard line. First down.
And that's out of bounds, so it comes out to the 20-yard line. But I know a lot of kickers and punters in the stadium game, the outdoor game, practice angling it and putting balls into buckets because they're trying to do the old coffin corner. But check this out here. Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Good.
Hey, look at that. Hey, and everyone wants to be an official, don't they? Did you see the guy signal?
Yeah.
Good.
So Aaron Garcia brings the New York offense to work at the 20-yard line. Quick pass to Mike Horacek, gets away from Terrence Joseph and is ridden out of bounds by Tom Pace. A 7-yard gain, 2nd and short for the Dragons.
Alan, when I'm out, a lot of fans will ask me, because sometimes fans get frustrated with their team throwing short all the time, those quick passes.
Yep.
Why don't teams do that all the time? Well, we just saw exactly why. One missed tackle in a one-on-one situation, you gain additional yardage, and Mike Horacek made him miss on that play and got downfield for an additional gain.
Across midfield for the Dragons, 2nd down and 3. Horacek in motion. Garcia with time, throws near side. Little skipper falls incomplete in the direction of Chris Anthony. Let's get an AFL look in New York. Here's Al Troutwig.
Hey, Alan, one of the best targets in the game is Damian Harrell of the Colorado Crush. John Dutton loves to get him the ball, and we love to watch what happens when he's done. He takes the celebration to new heights. Why not? It's the Mile High City. He goes 10 rows up into the stands and delivers a souvenir. Colorado scores. They're up big. The LA Avengers have had an interception against them. It's 21-7 still in the first quarter. Back to you.
All right, Al, thanks. Little laundry on the field here.
False start. Offense, number 20. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Kevin Clemens, the fullback, tagged on the penalty for the New York Dragons.
And you know who paid for it?
Yeah, the center.
The center, Steve Seifries, number 77, who can't be happy because Nakia Adderson, number 91, was able to tee off when he saw the motion. Watch right in the middle. Watch Adderson, 91. Right in the middle. Okay. Ball's in play, right?
Did he held on
Guy
the ball?
moved. Seifries held it. No fumble.
Yeah.
But Seifries going to tell Kevin Clemens, hey, I'm the one who paid for your mistake right there, buddy.
You owe. So back it up 5 yards. It brings up 3rd and 8 now instead of 3rd and 3. There's those costly penalties again. See what Garcia can do. With time, hit as he throws, ball's wobbling in the air, and neither Swain nor the defensive back could adjust to it, Clarence Lawson, but there is a flag down on the field.
And I know they're signaling for pushing off. Who's it going to be on, Clarence Lawson or Kevin Swain? We've seen pass interference go both ways already today.
Pass interference, defense, number 27. 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Alan, you called it how many times already today? Costly penalties. Clarence Lawson, Aaron Garcia was hit on the play, and I'm just going to say it, I don't get that call. Because these guys bump and grind in this league more than any other league, and they usually let them play downfield. Both of them trying to locate the ball. I never saw Clarence Lawson get an arm extended, never saw him grab. I don't think that's a correct call. I think that they cost Arizona a good play on that one.
So another 1st down by penalties for the New York Dragons. Did he hang on to it is the question. And they'll say it's a good catch for Chris Anthony. Evan Labasek defending a 9-yard gain. And it'll be inside the 10-yard line of Arizona for New York.
And you said on the last series, Alan, penalties are so costly against New York because of their quick strike ability, what they call attack mode on offense. And you give them extra downs and possessions, Garcia comes right back and finds Anthony for nearly 9 yards on the first play.
Going to try the sweep to the near side, and that's not going to get very far. Kevin Clemens on the carry, knocked into the side barrier by Vince Amy, big number 98 for Arizona.
That's a nice play by the defensive end, Amy, because he did not allow himself to get hooked by the outside blocker. Kept his outside leverage. Clemens never had a chance to turn the corner.
You know, it's hard enough to get running yards on the ground in the AFL. When you lose 2 on a carry, that really doesn't make your stat line look good.
No, not at all. And you know something? They will not run it here on 3rd down. They will go to their strength, number 8, throwing the football.
8-yard line is the line to gain for a 1st down. Garcia throwing for the end zone over the top of Mike Horacek, and it's incomplete, and it's going to bring up the 4th down for New York. You kick or you go for it?
I think if you're New York right now, I'd go for it. With Aaron Garcia on 4th and short, kicking game always uncertain in arena football because you don't have much of a target with these posts. Very narrow and a tall upright. Would have been a 26-yard attempt, but I know they're going to forsake and let Aaron Garcia go. What did Waylon Harding tell you? I didn't bring these great horses in here to kick field goals. 1 of 2 on 4th down conversion tries this year for the Dragons.
Garcia under pressure, spins, loses the football. And not going to get the first down. I think they fell on it and recovered the ball under the bottom of the pile, but it'll go over to the Arizona Rattlers on downs.
Allen, terrific back-to-back plays after a very questionable interference call. Wendell Gaines getting to Aaron Garcia. And does this go down as a sack? Because if it does, was that Gaines or was that Nakia Addison, number 91? Yeah, Nakia Addison, number 91, not Gaines. Terrific job by the Arizona Rattlers.
So Garcia and the New York offense stopped this time.
The Netscape internet service lets me choose if I want to have their unlimited access for...
Subway presents the fresh toasted performance of the week. In his 12th season, Andy Kelly is still fresh. Last week, he continued his red-hot start. 7 more touchdowns, with the AFL's all-time leading passer on a sizzling record pace. Touchdown! And had the Philadelphia Soul toasted. The AFL and Subway. Get fresh. Get toasted.
Big Nakia Addison on the stop. The 4th down play, getting Aaron Garcia twisted to the ground, knocking the ball loose, and momentum shifting back in the favor of his Arizona Rattlers.
And after a questionable interference call, Arizona's defense dug in, and on back-to-back plays, Terrence Joseph in the secondary chipped away at the timing of one play, forced an incompletion, then Addison with the sack, and now Sed Bonner has the offense back on the field.
16-yard line is where the Rattlers start. Intercepted! Going back the other way and headed toward the end zone, Corey Johnson for the New York Dragons. What was that I said about momentum?
Old Mo's a fickle person, Allen.
Retreat. Wow. The 2 kick returns for touchdowns, the 2 defensive stops, and now a 29-yard interception return for a score by Corey Johnson, the 7th-year AFL veteran for the New York Dragons.
And in the coach's books, that will go down as a wasted effort on defense for Arizona because the offense did not take advantage of what they gave them. Sed Bonner with the interception on the first play.
And the Barones extra point is good. 20-6. Sed Bonner cannot be happy about the way things have gone on his return after missing 3 weeks injured.
Well, boxers always talk about ring rust and getting back into the ring after being out for an extended period of time. I think Sed Bonner has a little bit of that in a football sense because that pass was just simply overthrown and into the deep coverage that was provided by Corey Johnson. He could not have gotten an easier interception or a better path to the end zone than he had on that play. I mean, what it turned out to be, Allen, was a zone defense by the New York Dragons. Sed Bonner trying to throw a long out pattern to the wide side of the field. He wants to go out here. But Corey Johnson just sitting back, reads the play, and when the ball's overthrown, left his coverage. And now he comes back to back upfield, picks up blocking, and waltzes into the end zone for another score.
So Corey Johnson with the 7th interception return of the season for the New York Dragons and the first that they've taken back for a touchdown. And that 29-yard score gives New York a nice advantage as we close in on the end of quarter number 1. 20-6 ball game, and now the Rattlers to get the ball back. You know, Charles, I just keep thinking about the rust on Sed Bonner. 1 for 7 so far in the ball game.
And you know something else, you and I saw this in warm-ups. He is wearing a monster knee brace on the knee that took the hit where he had the bone bruise. I'm sure he's trying to adjust to that. And also just the planting, you wonder how much soreness there is in the knee and how much that might be affecting his throwing today.
Babasek with a 17-yard return for the Arizona Rattlers, and Chris Angel on the stop for the New York Dragons, and the Rattlers will go to work on their own 13-yard line with a first down. And they'll do so in the second quarter as time expires.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Number 1. 20-6, New York over Arizona. Back after these messages from your local NBC station.
NBC Monday on an all-new medium.
This is a dream I shouldn't ignore.
The visions won't haunt you. It's who's having them. There's a monster out there.
Why do you have a picture of the ogre?
And mother and daughter are both getting clues from his victims.
Just mad that I haven't helped her.
This is your chance to catch Monday's hottest show.
Because CSI Miami's a repeat. All new medium, NBC Monday.
It's a view of the valley most people never see.
12 News takes you behind the scenes to see what really goes on at some of the busiest places in town.
300 patients a day here, and it's stacked up.
Inside Valley Hospitals.
We don't have enough beds upstairs.
They end up waiting 4, 6, 8 hours instead of 2 or 4 hours.
From the ER to ICU. Why is your wait so long? How did it get that way? And what's being done to make it better? Cooney and Curtis on location tomorrow at 10.
Exhilaration when you need it. Utility, even when you really don't. The 7-seat SR...
Now improved Roundup Plus. Its faster formula knocks out weeds in 12 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Now improved Roundup Plus knocks out weeds in 12 hours.
Be in the know. Weekday mornings with Scott, Sam, and Amy on 12 News Today.
And inside the Nassau Coliseum, we're set to start quarter number 2 with the New York Dragons leading the Arizona Rattlers by a score of 20-6. Cedric Bonner, number 13, back under center for the Rattlers. Struggle is a fair word to use for his first quarter. Wow! Billy Parker and Jermaine Miles tag team to drop Randy Gatewood. And he will lose a yard.
Terrific pursuit inside out by the Dragons defensive line. And as they started this possession, my first thought for Ced Bonner is that, hey, even 12-year all-AFL veterans need a little help sometimes. So I figured Larry Kuharich would try and call some easy passes for him, allow him to build up his confidence. That was one, but Ced Bonner didn't deliver that one very well. He messed up the timing of the play.
Yeah, good pursuit by the New York defense. 2nd down and 11. Bonner throws the tight end screen on the far side. That'll be Wendell Gaines on the reception, and he'll rumble upfield until Jermaine Miles knocks him down at the 15-yard line.
That's exactly what Larry Kuharich, the offensive coordinator for Arizona, is doing right now. The first 2 calls here have been screens. One a wide receiver screen. This time, really just a short dump pass to the tight end. A play that you don't call very often. It's really a surprise play, but trying to give Cedric Bonner easy throws to try and ease him back into this game.
Remember, Cedric Bonner missed the last 3 games with a bone bruise to his knee. There's a pass to Sia Burley across midfield, good for a first down. Billy Parker defending for New York, and Cedric Bonner with the 11-yard toss to his favorite receiver, Sia Burley.
Welcome back, Cedric. This looks more like it. Sets up, steps into the throw, and drills it right into the 5 of Sia Burley, able to use his body to keep Billy Parker away from the football. That's the Ced Bonner that everyone in the AFL has come to know.
Cedric Bonner, the 2-time All-AFL. Throws near side. There's Gaines again on the tight end screen. Tries to leap a defender and ends up stepping out of bounds and falling down inside the 5-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 3. Who was that, Chris Angel, who saw that big package rumbling at him?
Yeah, and he's thinking, you know, I'm supposed to cover wide receivers, not offensive tackles disguised as tight ends. And that's a tough play. But watch 56 in white. To the right side of your screen, he went out of the picture, threw a great block to help Wendell Gaines, and Gaines trying to hurdle Chris Angel and pull a little Ronaldo Nehemiah. And here's Hunky Cooper, the great veteran, with a knockdown, and then Angel scrambles to his feet and gets just enough of Gaines to stop him before he got to the end zone.
19-yard pickup. Here's Hunky Cooper on the pitch, heading for the goal line. Did he get in? No, they say he's down about a foot shy of the goal line.
His body turned just enough, Allen, that it turned back opposite the goal line, and he ended up going down just short. I thought he was going to score on the play. Had good blocking out front. It's a nice call with a toss sweep because it gets the extra blocker into play. When you don't hand it to the fullback, Bo Kelly, number 2, becomes the extra blocker out front. And he did his job actually running over Mark Tucker, 56. And then Hunky Cooper just short of the end zone.
From the 1-foot line, here comes Cooper near side. Good pursuit by the New York Dragons. It's Stacey Evans, got him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. Big number 99.
Terrific play.
7th-year AFL veteran out of South Carolina, 285-pounder. He's been a big force, and I'm not trying to make the joke there. He played for the Georgia Force the last couple of years, but he has been a frontline force in his AFL career.
Yes, he missed 2 seasons ago with a torn rotator cuff. Came back last year to become lineman of the year for the Georgia Force. Terrific play on the last one.
Loss of 3, and flags are down. Going to have a false start, I believe, on the Arizona Rattlers.
Before the ball was snapped, false start.
Kelly.
Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Another costly penalty. Now, instead of 3rd and goal from inside the 5, now it's 3rd and goal from just inside the 10.
And in a twisted way, I don't think they're quite as upset. You know why? It actually gives them just a little more operating room down in close, because you know how condensed the field gets.
Yep.
But now he's got a little extra space to work with. They don't like the penalties. But we'll see if Sed Bonner is able to take advantage of it. Cy Burley will be his motion man in the slot, number 5.
3rd and goal. Bonner under pressure, steps away from one, throws back to the end zone. Oh, it went through the hands of Burley. He slipped and was on his back and still almost caught the ball.
That's what a great pass rush does. It disrupts the timing of the play. They flushed Sed Bonner early. It looked like number 66 on the play. Was it 66 or 99? I think number 66, Marcus Owen, forced the play early, messed up the timing, and then when he had to deliver the ball, Burley was trying to come back for the football, slipped and fell, unable to pull it in.
He was laying on his back, and the ball went through his hands and just touched the turf.
And again, on 4th down,
gotta go.
Arizona will go for it.
Arizona 5 of 7 on 4th down tries this year. Over 70%. Bonner hit as he throws, intercepted in the end zone. Once again, Corey Johnson with the pick. He tries to run it out, and he is wrestled down. Forward progress at the 2-yard line.
Another terrific stop for the New York Dragons defense. And their head coach, Waylon Harding, coordinates the defense, is very happy about what he's seeing.
3rd defensive stop of the day for the New York Dragons, and Corey Johnson with his 2nd pick of a Cedric Bonner pass. You're watching the AFL on NBC.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Start the day with a splash. Bring on the blue.
Moving to the horizon.
Splash. Bring on the blue.
Now you're flying again.
That aqua velva face, so firm, so fit. That manly scent.
Bring on the blue. Comes that cool blast you're feeling. Bring on the blue. As she touches your skin.
It just feels better with an aqua velva man.
The marriage was built to last.
You are so awesome.
But the house was built too small.
This is kind of awesome.
How long are we here?
For 1 year, sparks will fly.
This is not awesome.
I just want to make an omelet.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The drama will be real, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
Cobra 6, this is Spectre 6.
Target acquired, over.
Target identified.
Element search for Hotel Victor Tangos 2 and 8. Execute assault time now.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by the United States Army, an army of one. By Aaron's, let Aaron's drive your dreams home. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Otis Livingston is covering the sidelines and the benches for us today. What do you got, Otis?
Corey Johnson down here, 2 interceptions, including 1 touchdown. Let's talk about the first one.
Well, the first one, you know, my guy was trying to run me off, and I kind of read the ball coming out, so I turned around and I just made a break on the ball.
How about trying to stop Cedric Bonner? I mean, he's a guy that was out 3 games. He's trying to shake off the rust right now. You guys are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. You know, he was out 3 weeks, and it's coming back. You know, he's not in a rhythm right now, I don't think. And we hope just keep him confused and everything like that and don't let him get back into a rhythm.
All right, best of luck the rest of the way. Alan, Charles.
All right, Otis, thanks. Corey Johnson, 7th-year player out of Forest Park, Georgia. And after his 2nd interception of the day, New York takes over on its own 3-yard line.
Don't be surprised if Aaron Garcia doesn't just try to attack right now, Alan.
Kevin Swain was wide open. He was in his own area code.
And they were in attack mode on that one. They showed a tight formation, which suggested to the Arizona defense shorter patterns. And they ran short patterns with everyone except Kevin Swain. And it's hard to sneak out the leading receiver.
Yeah.
But they managed to do it. And as you said, he was wide open. They just didn't connect.
There's nothing between him and the end zone except yard markers. Yeah, those little white stripes on the field.
I think New York right now feeling very good about themselves. I think Aaron Garcia would like to get another big one right here.
2nd down and 10. Garcia with the deep drop, then throws underneath, bobbled, caught, Holder. Finally wrestled down from behind. It is Terrence Joseph that catches up to him and drags him down after a 7-yard gain. Hey, log on to NBCSports.com with a special section of coverage on this weekend's AFL games. Plus, Pat Hayden and Glenn Parker have analysis on the hottest topics in arena football, including how Michael Bishop of Grand Rapids, the former K-State quarterback, has become one of this league's most exciting players. NBCSports.com.
Michael Bishop ran for 100 yards in a ball game earlier this year from the quarterback position, a new AFL record.
Garcia with time throws downfield for Swain, intercepted. Gatewood stepped on the sideline, but it is a good interception, and the turnover goes the Arizona Rattlers' way. Randy Gatewood with the pickoff.
Great play by Randy Gatewood, the venerable one for the Arizona Rattlers. 9 interceptions 2 seasons ago. He was the Iron Man of the Year in the league, and he appeared to be the receiver on the play. Great job by Gatewood.
Both quarterbacks having a tough time here on Long Island today. Arizona with the ball next.
I was cooking dinner and I just fell asleep. I collapsed. I couldn't call for help. But ADT did. They saved my life.
An ADT monitored fire detector actually signals ADT, so we can call for help. Call now and save over $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. And save up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT. Always there.
I want to see my fighter. Come on. Kid, how many fingers I got up? 4. What city are we in? I don't know. You remember what you did last night? No. Remember what I did last night? No. He's fine. It's all good. Let him in.
What? That was offside. Face back. First down. Way to go, baby.
Go for 2. Blitz. Get out.
Time out. Come out. Time out.
He's all over him. Interference.
Right in his hand. Oh.
So glad I'm not playing anymore.
Touchdown. Yes.
Every armchair quarterback needs a high-definition widescreen projection TV monitor. Aaron's has a great selection at the guaranteed lowest price.
Game over? Game over?
What?
Tuesday on an all-new Law & Order SVU.
What, are they afraid to let you in here with me?
Matthew Modine.
Tell me how good you are torturing children.
In an episode that takes you inside the mind of a monster.
I'm a psycho killer. What are you going to do about it, huh?
TV Guide says SVU just keeps getting better, and it's all new NBC Tuesday.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, closing in on the end of the second quarter. Don't forget that at AFLFantasy.com, you can sign up for free fantasy football and a chance to win $20,000 in prizes, plus stats, news, and up-to-date player information AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox. Just one hint, don't look at the numbers for the quarterbacks today. Not in this game. Aaron Garcia having a tough game. He's got the chin bandage to go with the previously acquired black eyes. And Cedric Bonner's pass off the hands of Tom Pace and falls incomplete. Chris Angel defending for New York, and Bonner continues to have some struggles.
Yeah, he put that in a spot that allowed the defense to make a play on the football. That's why Tom Pace is sitting by the boards now. See how it came too far inside, and he exposed the midsection of Tom Pace as he reached for the football.
Oh, I think he
what a big hit.
He got
laid out on
feet.
Pace.
Well, he got one of his feet caught in the turf when he was twisting around trying to get that ball. And
see how he's checking the midsection. That's Matt Anderson, the longtime trainer of the Arizona Rattlers. Telling Tom Pace to take some deep breaths as he checks out the rib section.
Chris Angel, the defender for the New York Dragons, having a chat with his coach as the attention continues to be paid to Tom Pace, who is a 26-year-old out of Arizona State, playing a position that the Rattlers really can't afford to lose any more people. Now, the question that's being discussed here, do the Rattlers want to take a timeout to keep him in the game, or do they want to send him out for the substitution?
Timeout, Arizona.
So there
this
you
is
go.
Arizona's first charge, timeout.
If you're new to the AFL, Ironman football, you can only substitute once per quarter. You can only go out and back into the game once a quarter. And if you go out of the game beyond that, you're considered ineligible for the rest of the time period. So that's why the rule is in to allow the teams to call a timeout to keep an injured player in the ball game. Otherwise, he's of no use to them for the rest of this quarter.
And with 7:39 to go in the half, they wanted to keep Tom Pace on the field if he were able to go, and he is. So they wanted to make sure he stayed. They took the timeout, and now they'll come back out on offense. But he's fortunate to be out there playing because that was a tough one. Reaching back inside, exposed, and he took a big shot from Chris Angel, who's known as a hard hitter.
Pace is lined up near side. Sia Burley is the motion man. It's 2nd down and 10. Bonner throws over the middle, tipped into the air by Chris Angel. The intended receiver was Sia Burley, and again, another Arizona pass falls incomplete.
That's terrific coverage by Chris Angel, because what he did was read the quarterback and come off of his coverage to make a play on the football. Chris Angel, known as a hard hitter, but in this play, he shows his agility as a defensive back. This is not his coverage, but he read the play and comes in front and knocks it away because Cy Burley probably was open, had a few steps on Parker, number 7.
4 straight incompletions for Cedric Bonner. And it brings up 3rd down and 10 from his own 7-yard line. And flags.
Shocking. More flags.
Imagine that. This one might actually work in favor of the Rattlers, though. Just a suspicion.
The ball was snapped.
No, I got that
Number
one wrong.
56, offside, unevaded to the quarterback.
No, I got it right.
Half the distance. Excuse me. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
I think Bill might want to try that one again.
Yeah, but Bill's had trouble on which side to go so far. He'll get it together. But look at the quarterback comparison. Neither one of them covering themselves with the normal glory that we've come to know from both of them. Ced Bonner especially struggling with the 2 interceptions here early in the ball game.
Boy. 1 return for a touchdown. And those very un-Garcia-like numbers for...
I mean, these are guys that normally throw in the high 60s in terms of percentage, completion percentage.
Yeah.
Garcia's at 50, Ced Bonner well below that.
3rd down and 5 after the penalty on New York. Bonner hit as he throws. Way downfield, intercepted. A 4th interception this season for Billy Parker, the rookie defensive back for the New York Dragons. Bonner threw that one up for grabs, and his receiver, Sia Burley, one-on-one with a rookie defensive back, and this time, the defensive man won out.
Normally, Ced Bonner has plenty of arm for this throw, but the reason I think it was short was the pressure applied by the defensive line of the New York Dragons. You said it at the timeout, hit as he threw the ball. That took the velocity off of it. Parker capitalized with the interception.
3rd interception today by New York.
The Netscape internet service lets me choose if I want to have their unlimited access for just $9.95.
So does NetZero.
And Netscape lets me have Web Accelerator for free with their $9.95 plan. NetZero charges $14.95 for their service with Web Accelerator. What do you get with NetZero?
I'm a Netscape guy.
Right now, Netscape gives you free Web Accelerator to surf up to 5 times faster. NetZero charges $14.95. That's over 50% more. Get Netscape for $9.95. And if you sign up now, get a 1-month free trial.
Want to beat athlete's foot? Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
This is Hall's. And this is Hall's Fruit Breezers. A different kind of taste sensation from Hall's that'll give your dry, scratchy throat a cooling lift. Hall's Fruit Breezers. Treat your throat.
Tiger Woods, after an un-Tiger-like 04, his roar is back and the tour better look out. Phil Mickelson, sizzling hot with 2 wins this year. Vijay Singh, coming off last year's 9-win explosion. It's a lineup loaded with 9 of the top 10 stars, all looking to tame the Blue Monster. The Ford Championship at Doral. Coverage begins next Saturday, 3 Eastern, NBC.
At the Nassau Coliseum, 20-6 ball game. The New York Dragons leading the Arizona Rattlers on what has been a turnover-filled affair so far.
And not what we expected. These are quarterbacks that take good care of the ball, but said Bonner throws an interception. That one was returned for a touchdown by Corey Johnson. A second interception for Corey Johnson. Then Aaron Garcia throws an interception. Randy Gatewood, the beneficiary. And here, the youngster, young Mr. Parker. Billy Parker with his 4th interception of the young season stops another attempted drive by the Arizona Rattlers.
So the 1 pick returned for a score. The other 3 haven't led to any points because it's been turnover, turnover, and now we'll see.
And now we'll find out about Parker's. But the common characteristic of Cedric Bonner's interceptions, he's been hit on all of those throws, unable to step into the throw.
Garcia fumbles the ball near his own goal line. Looks like Arizona has fallen on it, and indeed it is. Arizona's big number 98, Vince Amy. Another turnover, and the Rattlers get the ball inside the 2-yard line.
Terrific play. One thing that you have to give credit to Arizona for is that they have not rolled over on any of the interceptions that have gone against them. The defense has gone out and battled. Look at the great play. That was Phil Glover, number 31, the MAC linebacker, who's allowed to rush the passer based on the rules of arena football. The MAC usually rushes the passer. The Jack linebacker stays in the 5-yard box area for better pass coverage and also any running plays that come through that area. On that play, Phil Glover forces the fumble. Amy falls on it, and now Arizona must capitalize.
And flags are flying already. Check out this. 4 possessions, 4 stops.
Timeout, Arizona. That is Arizona's 2nd charge. Timeout.
And their 1 score came as a result of
the kick return.
Evan Lavasek's kick return.
And Coach Shell trying to figure out what's going on from the officials. So while they sort that out, we'll take a minute and tell you about golf. Coming up down in Florida. I was down in Florida a couple weeks ago for Daytona, Charles.
Yes,
you live down in Florida. Weather's nice this time of year, huh?
That's why you live in Florida this time of year. And then you've just got to fend off all the visitors who want to come and stay with you.
Ford Championship at Doral. Thursday and Friday, 3 Eastern and Pacific on USA Network, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And then the weekend coverage on NBC. Tiger, Phil, VJ, and the Blue Monster. Next weekend, NBC Sports. First and goal. Does he get across? Touchdown, Phil Glover on the fullback plunge for the Arizona Rattlers. And the Rattlers turn the New York turnover into 6. I was trying to think of some clever way to say turn the turnover, and the fumble, but, you know.
Hey, let me tell you something. I understand you.
Yeah.
I've got it. What you said, yes, I agree.
Here's Danny Kite in his first AFL ball game with his second point after try.
Missed his first one.
I beg your pardon. Clang. No good.
Not the way to try and stay around.
Danny Kite signed to replace the normal Arizona kicker on an injury situation.
Anthony Brenner.
Anthony Brenner, right, just on Thursday of this week. He was a kicker in the AF2 Developmental League last year for Louisville. He played 5 games for them last year. And the coach, Todd Shell, seen there with his team and his kicker, scouted one of the AF2 games last year and saw this kid kite kicking and said he's got a cannon for a leg.
Just kind of filed it away.
Yep, and traded a phone number, whatnot. When he needed a kicker on Thursday, he called up Kite, who is teaching special education in Carmel, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis, and said, "You're on."
Can you get here fast? And he said he had to get a substitute teacher.
Yep.
Talk it over with his fiance, because there are other opportunities in the business world coming down that are now going on hold, and they decided he should go for it. He was a soccer player in college at Augusta State College in Georgia. Had never played football before, but as you mentioned, Todd Shell saw his live leg. And I was talking with Peter Schwartz earlier. Peter Schwartz, who is the radio voice of the New York Dragons and also covers the Jets. Danny Kite was in Jets camp 2 years ago with Clay Rush, who kicks for the Colorado Crush.
Yeah.
And they were competing for a job. They didn't keep either one of them. So he has seen this young man before, but 2 missed PATs is not the way to hang around a long time in this league.
Gets his kick to the net, so much in the AFL, and here's Holder out of his own end zone. Ducking, dodging, picks up a block, but he still hasn't picked up any yardage, and he gets dropped on his own 4-yard line by Terrence Joseph for Arizona. So Holder, after the fireworks earlier of taking the kick return back all the way for a score, comes up a little shy of his normal average yardage.
And he's a great kick returner in college.
Yep.
His junior year, he finished 2nd in Division I AA in terms of kick returns, kick return yard average. You know who was first? Young man by the name of Moss.
Oh, yeah?
From the Minnesota Vikings, and looks like he's going to the Oakland Raiders. He was at Marshall at the time.
Yep.
He led the nation in kickoff returns.
Garcia throws out of his own end zone, far side. Chris Anthony on the grab, and he is punched into the side barrier by Evan Lavasek with a nice gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and short for New York.
You know, Alan, we've got to give some credit right now to the Arizona defense for hanging in there despite all the interceptions that Sed Bonner has thrown. One they couldn't do anything about because Corey Johnson returned it for a touchdown, but the rest of the time they've been pretty stout and gotten the ball back for the Arizona team and have really kept them in this game. They could have been blown out by now.
2nd down. Garcia near side to Swain, spins away from one, can't spin away from 23 Tom Pace for Arizona, and he's dropped at the 19-yard line, but it's good for 1st down yardage. First catch of the day for Kevin Swain of the New York Dragons.
Had 9 catches in his last outing, his first outing of the season. And one of the toughest things to do in football, make a tackle in the open field. I thought Clarence Lawson had him locked up, unable to complete the play, but he held him up long enough for Tom Pace to come from the jack linebacker position and finish him off.
Spot the ball at the 18 of New York. 1st and 10 there. Holder near side, the motion man. Garcia with time. Over the middle. Wide open is Swain, looking for some running room. And he's going to be wrapped up and wrestled down by Clarence Lawson with some help once again from Tom Pace. Big gain for the Dragons, 21 yards.
What great touch by Aaron Garcia on the play. And this time he had enough time in the pocket to survey the field. And then he was able to drop it over the jack linebacker position to Kevin Swain as he ran towards the boundary. Nice touch pass by Aaron Garcia.
Ball down to the Arizona 11-yard line. 1st and 10 there for New York. Swain, after being shut out through the first quarter and most of the second, now with 2 consecutive catches. Here's the handoff up the middle for New York. Kevin Clemens on the run. He's going to get maybe 1 before he is wrapped up by, we'll call it, all of the Arizona defensive front 3.
And you know, there's Jerry Sharp, number 55, a veteran who played with New York last year. But you know, after that play, I've seen Aaron Garcia play a lot of years in this league. When he hands the ball off, it's almost an accident because he hates to do that. And I'll guarantee he told Tony Kimbrough's offense coordinator, all right, let's throw that play out of the book now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to doing what we do best. Me throwing it.
Tried it once.
Okay.
You saw how it worked.
We did it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
2nd down, 9 and change needed for the 1st. Pressure on Garcia up the middle. He steps away, throws to the end zone. Will Holder with the touchdown. 10-yard Will Holder reception. And that looks more like the Aaron Garcia New York Dragon offense we're used to seeing.
And how about the mobility of Aaron Garcia? When we think of mobility, a lot of times you think of Michael Vick breaking the pocket and getting into the secondary and running for big yardage. A lot of the times it's just a matter of getting yourself into a better position to make a play or giving your receiver a better angle to run a route. And that's what Aaron Garcia did on that play. Just stepped up in the pocket and able to deliver a touchdown strike.
Here is Baronis on for the point after try, and that one is good. Aaron Garcia 4 for 4 on the drive, 45 yards down the field.
See how he just steps up, saw the gap, and when he stepped up, that gave Will Holder a better angle going to the end zone, and he just delivered. Look at that fake on Terrence Joseph, cuts across field, presents himself, and Aaron Garcia, of course, with his terrific vision, finds him. Look at him, just steps into the breach, and boom. Not going to ask for anything better than that, are you? That's a training film right there.
Yeah. So Will Holder with his second touchdown of the day, one kick return, and one on the receiving end of a 10-yard Garcia pass. And the New York Dragons extend their lead to 27-12 with just over 1 minute to go in the first half.
You know, one of those observations that you make, and it's not very profound, but you have to think about in arena football. As we look at Waylon Harding, the head coach and defense coordinator of the New York Dragons. Remember, the same guys who are making mistakes, you know, except for the quarterback and the offensive specialist, who either make mistakes on offense or make good plays, have to turn around and play defense too. So you have to have short-term memory in this league. Arizona's defense has battled hard this whole first half. You can only hold up so long when you keep getting put in bad positions.
So the kick now by Baronis to Sia Burley, who is back deep for Arizona. The onside kick. Ball is loose. It is covered by the Dragons' Chris Anthony. There are flags on the field.
Well, if it holds up, it should be New York's ball because it did go past 10 yards. We'll see what the penalty flag is, though.
I don't think Arizona, judging by the way they went to cover the kick, they were not expecting that onside try at all.
It's a great gamble by Waylon Harding and the New York Dragons trying to keep the pressure on. What did he tell you, Alan? He wants to be 2 possessions ahead in each half. That's the way to win the ball game.
So Bill Athan and the officials huddle.
Offside
Todd Shell looking.
On the kicking team, number 56. That penalty is assessed half the distance to the goal. The 1 minute timing rule is now into effect. Arizona has 1 timeout remaining. New York has 3 timeouts remaining. 1 minute timing rule is now into effect.
And how fortunate are the Arizona Rattlers?
Fortunate enough that they're going to have the ball first and goal when we come back to the Nassau Coliseum.
Looks like we've got a couple of lovebirds.
I need you now.
The new hot, fresh toasted subs are here. Like the Chicken Bacon Ranch. Toasted hot inside and out. Subway. Eat fresh.
Right on target. Now you can target only your gray hair with Just for Men. In 5 easy minutes, it replaces gray with subtle tones for a natural look.
You're right on target.
Right on target. Just for Men, the Rejuvenator.
Start the day with a splash. Rain on the blue.
Oh, she touches your skin.
It just feels better with an Aqua Velva Man.
You don't become a poker champion by playing once a week.
You've got to play a lot of hands with people who challenge your skills. That's why PokerStars.net is such a great place to play.
There's always a game, 24/7, tournaments too.
And you always play free.
With PokerStars extras like statistics, notes, and chat.
PokerStars.net, where champions like Chris
and Greg
play free. And you can too. It's fun, it's free.
And it's the best site for future winners like you.
This is the Subway AFL on NBC studio in New York. Al Troutwick joined by Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Tommy Maddox, who's going to do his best to make us forget Glenn Parker.
No. Quarterbacks always need their offensive line.
We'll break down the games. Plus, we have a poll question. Who's got the strongest arm in the AFL? It's all coming up at halftime. Let's go back to Charles and Alan.
Well, Arizona gets the ball after what was a successful onside kick by New York, negated by a penalty.
Offsides on the kicking team. So where the ball was touched, where the penalty occurred, was inside the 10-yard line. So the penalty goes against the offending team, the kicking team. They can't possess the ball. It goes to the receivers. Half the distance penalty. That's why the ball's spotted there. 1st and goal for the Arizona Rattlers.
Big break for Arizona. Here's Bo Kelly looking around left side, trying to fight for the goal line. They're going to mark him down at the 1. It was Marcus Owen getting up off the bottom of that pile with the stop for the New York Dragons. And 2nd down and short for the Arizona Rattlers. What a game. I mean, you're just back and forth, one mistake after the other by the different teams, handing momentum back the other way.
Yeah, Old Momentum's pretty tired right now because Old Mo doesn't know which side of the field to get on and stay on. He's going back and forth and got a little hop step going back and forth each way. I think Old Mo can't wait to get to the half and take a break himself, get a little oxygen.
55 seconds to go in the half. 2nd down and goal from the 1. Tom Pace fighting. Chris Angel tried to stand him up, but he got in the end zone for the Rattler touchdown. Pace was met at the goal line by Chris Angel for New York, who got his legs churning and tried to dig in. But the fullback for the Rattlers with just too much power and pushed his way across the plane of the goal line.
The best running plays in arena football are either the quick hitter right at the defensive line with the fullback, or you use the fullback as your extra blocker and either use a quarterback run series or swing around one of the receivers. That's what Arizona did on that play. Why do they have to do that? Because it's 5-on-3 blocking. Excuse me, it's 3-on-5 blocking because of the 2 linebackers. Here, Arizona will go for 2 because remember, they've missed 2 extra points already today.
And they're down by 9 points, so if you get the extra point here, then you're just down by the touchdown and the kick point after.
Although a lot of people say you shouldn't chase points this early, but right now they're not sure they're very confident in their kicker. And he's already missed 2 extra points. They have a lot more confidence with Sed Bonner with the ball in his hands than the kicker.
2-point after try. Bonner throwing as he fades back. Sia Burley couldn't catch up to it before the end boards caught up to him. And it falls incomplete and remains a 9-point ball game with 48 seconds to go. Watch Chris Angel, number 2 for New York, try and stand up the fullback, Tom Pace.
See, Pace is going to come around. He's going to get the handoff. Watch the fullback lead there by Bo Kelly, number 2. He's providing the blocking. See right there? He takes Clemens and Angel, as you described, Alan, trying to hold up Pace. But at that point, he had made his way to the end zone and had gotten across the plane. There's Kelly with Clemens. Great contact. Angel trying to stand him up, trying to get a little bit of help there from Richard Harris, 84, but Pace kept churning his legs and fell across the goal line for the touchdown.
So a 9-point ball game as we work into the final seconds of the first half. And don't forget the Subway AFL on NBC studios coming up at halftime with Al Troutwig and Tommy Maddox, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, as our guest in the studio. News, scores, highlights from all the games around the league. The Subway AFL on NBC halftime report. Okay, so with 48 seconds to go, Charles, if you're Arizona,
don't be surprised if they onside kick here too. The Arena Football League game is filled with that. The reason they probably wouldn't, new kicker who has not had a chance to practice any of that with the team.
Kite tried to bounce the ball in the field of play. Swain made a nice play to go back and catch it in the air, tried to run it out of his own end zone, and he's going to be swarmed under at about the 2.5-yard line. And up off the bottom of the pile is Clarence Lawson and Terrence Joseph for the Arizona Rattlers.
Yeah, that's really my bad there, because if you really sit and analyze it, Chris Kite just got here, right?
How many onside kicks has he really practiced?
Excuse me, Danny Kite, excuse me, I'm calling him Chris. It's Danny Kite. He just got here yesterday. He hadn't had a chance really to practice with the team at all. And practicing onside kicks, that takes some time and some timing between he and the other players. Chances are they're only going to do that in a desperation move, today.
New York, all 3 of the timeouts left, almost intercepted. And a nice grab in the grandstands.
It was, just not in the field of play.
Randy Gatewood almost took the ball away from Chris Anthony before it wound up in the hands of a fan and brings up 2nd down with 35 seconds to go.
Always dangerous to throw in Randy Gatewood's area. Terrific veteran who knows how to play his position well. Broke on the ball very well on an out pattern to the wide side of the field. And very nearly came up with it, but look at that grab by the fan. Remember that open tryout that Billy Parker went to? He may be going next year.
2nd and 10, Garcia looking for it all. Horacek was looking for the ball and couldn't pick it out, and it falls incomplete, brings up 3rd down, and stops the clock with 28 seconds to go.
Well, we've seen uncharacteristic of these two quarterbacks, a number of deep balls that have fallen short. These guys have plenty of arm. That's not the issue. I think the rush is getting to both of them, and they're unable to complete their throws. When they step into their motion, they're having to cut it short. Thus, they're not getting the normal distance on their ball, on the deep passes.
3rd down and 10 from their own 5-yard line. And all these incompletions stopping the clock also, maybe helping Arizona get another crack at the ball. Garcia over the top of Swain, incomplete, 4th down. Clarence Lawson defending for the Rattlers.
And right now, I think New York would love to be able to punt and play field position, but you can't punt in this game. You have to try a field goal, but you can pooch kick to try and play field position. So let's see if that's the route that Waylon Harding decides to go with his offense here.
The problem with the pooch kick on the field goal is you can't get downfield and cover it. When you're kicking out of your own end zone, you got to block.
What you want to do is get as far downfield as you can and hopefully kill it out of bounds so that you don't have the good return. Cy Burley back deep for the Arizona Rattlers. Randy Gatewood short.
60-yard field goal try. And Barones' kick will be well short, fielded by Burley, 5 yards deep in his end zone. Got some running room out to the 20-yard line, and a nice trip up there by Josh White, number 40 for the New York Dragons. 25-yard return, and Arizona gets another crack at the ball with 12 seconds to go in the quarter.
No pooch kick there. They just let Barones use his big leg to get it as far downfield as possible, utilizing it as a punt and trying to play field position. But that's not bad field position for Arizona with 12 seconds to go.
So Arizona has used 2 of their timeouts already, so they've only got 1 left. And you see the numbers on Sed Bonner on the day, 5 of 16.
Well, he can erase it with those numbers here if they can score right before the half.
Bonner throws underneath to Cy Burley, tries to spin away from Billy Parker.
Needs to get down and save some time.
Clock running.
Struggling.
And now it's stopped with 2.5 seconds to go.
Really, it was a great play. Understand
it. Arizona. That is Arizona's 3rd and final charge timeout. This will be a 30-second charge timeout.
See, if Burley had gotten the ball there, made the one move, and had gone down, they might have saved just enough time for an additional pass. But now they're down to the 1 play. And here comes Kite trying to erase the 2 missed field goals that he's had today. Missed extra points.
So a first half full of defensive stops, some turnovers, the interceptions, missed point after tries. So, you know, it's been one of those ball games. And now Danny Kite to come out and try his first AFL field goal attempt.
Isn't tonight Oscar night? This game right now would go down under best drama, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
With the comedy of errors to go along with it.
31-yard attempt for Kite, the 33-year-old. In his AFL debut. And it is no good. Wide left. Wide left. Over the top of the upright. He had plenty of distance, but not the accuracy, and those narrow 9-foot uprights did not pay off on the field goal attempt for Danny Kite. So a difficult first half for both teams. And the score of 27-18 as we get to halftime. Kite has missed a couple of point after tries. And then the field goal at the end of the first half. 27-18 New York. Stay tuned for the Subway AFL on NBC Studio. Coming up after these messages. And a word from your local NBC station. Teams filing off the field after a mistake-filled first half. Charleston, it's got to get better in the second half for Sed Bonner in Arizona, don't you think?
It certainly cannot get worse.
9 defensive stops in the first half so far. The Subway AFL halftime report is next.
Prepare for a new Law & Order series. like none before.
Welcome back, my friends. Come inside, come inside.
We strangled her, threw the body down the well.
For the first time,
What's the spin?
you'll go behind the scenes.
I'm not interested in proving you innocent, just not guilty.
The building of the prosecution
He terrorized me during rehearsals.
and the strategies of the defense.
I'd open with, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Where's the body?
Where's the body?
The new Law & Order series, Trial by Jury, premieres NBC Thursday after The Apprentice.
I'm Lindsay Cooney.
And I'm Mark Curtis.
Topping our news tonight, another desert.
Respected and trusted.
12 News.
What does Sheriff Joe say?
Connected and involved.
The best part of this story.
The community developers tells 12 News that the necessary...
Fresh and lively.
Cooney.
And Curtis.
Weeknights only on 12 News.
Hi, I'm Mark Lewis.
And I'm Kathleen Mascareñas.
We've been fortunate in our careers to be around some of the biggest names in sports.
And now you can too.
Join us every Thursday night for our live taping of We've Got Your Game.
It's sports talk with a twist. You get to be involved as we tape the show before a live studio audience. And hey, you never know who's going to show up around here.
So join us for We've Got Your Game every Thursday night at 7 inside Casino, Arizona at Talking Stick.
The family of Chevy crew cabs. Fact. Chevy offers the most crew cabs of anyone. Colorado, Avalanche, Silverado, and Silverado Heavy Duty. That's why Chevy crew cabs are the right trucks. Now buy an 05 Silverado half-ton crew cab LS two-wheel drive with available option packages to get discounts and average finance savings for a total combined savings of $78.40. Chevy, the official truck of an American Revolution. For the #1 selling cars and trucks in the Valley, see your Valley Chevy dealer.
Now improved Roundup Plus. Its faster formula knocks out weeds in 12 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Now improved Roundup Plus knocks out weeds in 12 hours.
Welcome inside the Subway AFL on NBC Studio. Subway, eat fresh. Here's Al Trotwig.
Joined this week by Tommy Maddox, quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Could it be more sloppy at the Nassau Coliseum? Can it be more rugged than it is between Dallas and Philadelphia?
Well, there's one sloppy and one game living up to its billing.
They're both wearing black and blue, and that's appropriate for this game. It is physical, it is tough, and it's Dallas trying to win where they often don't on the road. In Philadelphia right now, they lead it 38-35 at halftime down at the Wachovia Center. Early on in this game, Tommy, it was Tony Graziani being pressured, and you try to figure out what do you do to slow these guys down in pursuit.
Well, it was amazing to see how much pressure they got onto him early, but the great thing about them is they learned how to kind of deal with it. Tony stood in there and threw the ball pretty accurately for as much as he was getting hit, but then they start running the ball. When you got a guy like Chris Ryan, it makes it a lot easier to run it. They get in for the touchdown there. That kind of settles the defense down a little bit, and then you can take advantage of big plays. Here's a great catch by Sean Scott for the touchdown, and you know, as they went on, Tony stayed in the pocket, he stayed firm, and he kept going, and this game has just lived up to its billing because it really has been an offensive game. This is a great throw here to the corner of the end zone. Everybody's kind of said he throws the ball a little too hard, but I tell you, as you go on in this league, you learn how to touch it to the back of the end zone.
Clint Sterner on that touchdown pass, but Graziani knows that touch already. He's 11 of 15 for 142 yards, but this has not been a game of stops. This one feels like it's going down to the last possession. Los Angeles and Colorado, the Avengers have been off to a 3-1 start, but it's all Colorado in this one. And as we know, Tommy, in this league and in this game, once you get a connection that feels good, boy, you just keep going to it.
Well, you do, and obviously Dutton to Harrell is a great combination right now. They're having a lot of fun playing together. Obviously, they're having a lot of fun. They're catching touchdown passes and running up in the stands and giving the ball to a Pee Wee football team of his sons, no less. But, you know, they're having a lot of fun. They know where each other's going to thinking and where he's going to be. And how a receiver like this gets this open, I don't know. It looked like they just dropped coverage right there. But, you know, I think you look at his numbers, 4 receptions for 93 yards. He's having a lot of fun with 2 touchdowns, and they're going to have to continue to work on that to try to stop them in the second half.
Now we go to the Nassau Coliseum. I don't know if this is possible. 9 stops and 5 turnovers, 27-18. The Dragons, with a late penalty and a fumble, are allowing Todd Shell's Arizona Rattlers back into the game, but he did not like in his return to the Nassau Coliseum how this game started.
Well, you never want to start a game giving up a touchdown, and this is just a great effort for the touchdown, but this game's been marked by sloppy play. I mean, there's been some big plays, a couple of returns for touchdowns, but the story of this game's been stops and turnovers. And here Bonner throws a bad ball that gets picked off, and all of a sudden you're giving up another touchdown. But believe it or not, New York's done the same thing to kind of keep Arizona in it late in the half.
Yeah, Bonner returning from a knee injury, and his timing is off. And I guess as a fellow quarterback, you're going to say he just needs a little time to get his timing back.
Well, you know, it is tough to come back from an injury, but I think he's forcing the ball a little bit, throwing it into spots that he shouldn't throw it into. And in this league, if you can have 4 stops at halftime, you're going to be pretty successful.
Right. We talk about the New York offense all the time, but their defense has really been impressive. Remember, 3 interceptions and 4 stops, as Tommy Maddox said, at halftime. One other game, Colorado and Grand Rapids. The Rampage trying to avoid losing at home for the 15th straight time. Columbus has the lead. They're at halftime up north, 36-29. Up next, we'll get the results of our player and fan poll. But first, Tony Graziani's offseason move to Philadelphia has been one of mixed results so far this season, but it is a decision he remains very comfortable with for 2 main reasons.
They live and die with their football out in Philadelphia. The passion of the fans is unparalleled to any other city I've ever been associated with. It's pretty cool to say that your boss is John Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Elway. What you doing in Vegas, little buddy?
We're going to be here for the Arena Bowl this June.
You're dreaming.
Am I? Why don't we settle this thing right now?
Go for it.
Come on, Trey, roll it!
This June, the AFL Championship game, Arena Bowl 19, is playing Vegas. For tickets, call 1-866-AFL-TICKS today.
Tuesday, passions ignite on an all-new Scrubs.
I have a surprise for you tonight.
I hope it's sex. Or a pony.
Heather Graham's back, and this time, he's ready.
Ah!
The honeymoon's over for Turk and Carla.
If you can't put the cap on the toothpaste, how are we going to raise our children?
And a confession from Elliot's new boyfriend.
I kissed a dude once. It was at Furnace Camp.
All new Scrubs, Tuesday.
Memories from the New Jersey Red Dogs to the NFL with the XFL in between, a model of persistence and patience. One of the feel-good stories in recent years, Tommy Maddox getting back to the NFL. But this season, you were the injured man behind the story of Ben Roethlisberger. What was that like to be the guy behind the new story?
Well, it was frustrating at times, and it was exciting at times. To see the success that we had as a team and the things that happened this year was very exciting, but it's frustrating when you want to be the guy out there making the plays. So, you know, it speaks volumes for Ben and being able to step into that role, and it speaks volumes for our team and how they responded around him. And our offensive line played great. We ran the ball very well and didn't put him in a whole lot of situations where he had to win the game on his own.
Not a knock. I mean, no one knows what a first year is going to be like until you do it. You didn't until you did it. I've heard Phil Simms say that when he got to the 14th and 15th game of his rookie year, he was like blown away how exhausted he was. Do you have any doubt that that's what happened to Ben?
Well, I think that the year kind of keeps going and keeps coming at you, and new things keep coming at you. And I think he was tired at the end of the year, but, you know, going into the playoff games, he seemed like he was ready for them. And, you know, he didn't play his best. I think he would say that. But, you know, we had chances to win the game. We won the game against the Jets. We came back and pulled it out. And New England was just kind of on a roll.
What's your status for next year now? What's your approach?
Well, you know, I'm looking forward to being back in Pittsburgh and seeing what's going to happen. I think I'm going to be back there. That's what they've told me. And, you know, I'm excited about it. I love the city of Pittsburgh. I love the fans. I'm excited about playing for that organization still. And, you know, we'll just see what happens.
You know, the average person would have a difficult time thinking about the dynamic between you and him, being so vicious in competition to you want his job, he wants your job. You know what I mean? How does that actually play out? Can you be friends through it all? Well,
yeah, I think so. I think, you know, there's nothing, he didn't do anything to me. You know, he didn't ask to be drafted there. He didn't ask for me to get hurt and go out there and play well. I'm just the type person, if I'm out there, I want people to root for me, and if somebody else is out there, I'm going to root for them. I'm going to help them in any way I can. And, you know, I'm excited about the situation. He and I get along great. We've got a great attitude towards each other, and yeah, there's competition there. I think that's good. I mean, my brother and I play golf. We have competition between each other, so I think competition's good.
When those highlights of the New Jersey Red Dogs rolled on, what were you thinking?
Man, it seems like a long time ago. You know, it was a fun year for me to play in this league and to kind of get my feet wet again, and it's happened so fast, but man, it seems like a long time ago.
Hey, Tommy, let's get into our poll. Our question this week, who's got the strongest arm in the AFL? And, of course, you get two totally different perspectives when you talk to the players and the fans. First of all, let's talk about the players. They think it's Cedric Bonner. Then it's Michael Bishop, who certainly got great legs. Then John Dutton and Aaron Garcia. Is it important to have the strongest arm to be successful? Well, not in this league. And in any league, it's not important to have the strongest arm. But this league, you need to have a strong arm. But, you know, a lot of it's timing. A lot of it's getting the ball out on time. And I think you can kind of get away with it. The field's not as big. You don't have to make the long throws to the sideline in this league. So, you know, the importance probably not as much in the AFL. One thing we've learned is that the city of Philadelphia is like the red states. They've got a big voice, and they love to vote for their guys. The fans of Philadelphia Soul, heavy in the ballot box for Tony Graziani. And I'll tell you what, when he threw a 45-yard touchdown on his knee right there, I said, you know what, maybe you do have to vote for him. But after that, it's Andy Kelly, the great veteran, Michael Bishop again, and Clint Sterner, who in the eyes of some throws the ball a little too hard for this game. Is that possible? Well, yeah, it is. You know, obviously with not being that much room out there, you can get the ball on a guy too quick. And, you know, in the case of Tony, I think he would say he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's very smart, very accurate, gets the ball to the guys where they can still run, still make plays. And I think that's what's important in this league. Interesting stuff. Now, next week, our question is, who is the best two-way player in the AFL? And that gets right down to the essence of the league. Log on to arenafootball.com to cast your vote. And a quick reminder, win a trip to Arena Bowl 19 in Las Vegas and be named the AFL Fan of the Year. Just go to arenafootball.com and enter the fan code for today's game, N231. That's all for the AFL on NBC Studio here at halftime. We'll get you to the second half of your game right after this.
Thanks for joining the Subway AFL on NBC Studio. Experience the new great taste of a fresh toasted sub today. Subway, eat fresh.
Nine-point ball game here at Nassau Coliseum, set to start the third quarter. Alan Bestwick, Charles Davis, so does Livingston. And whistles before we get the kickoff into the nets. And we'll see what's going on there and get back to you in just a second. Charles, impressions on the first half?
The ball had not been marked ready for play yet. Please reset the game clock to 15 minutes.
You know, that reminds me of the first ever Super Bowl between the Packers and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
When they started the second half, they kicked off, but they had two networks, CBS covered, NBC covered. One of them wasn't ready. So they made them re-kick the second half kickoff so that both networks could have it. We were ready. Just that they jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. The officials weren't ready.
NBC was ready.
There you go. There's Todd Shell, the Arizona head coach, and just the look on his face says it all about this ball game so far.
Well, you asked me the question about the first half.
Yeah.
Todd Shell's face.
There's the answer.
There's the answer. That was not a half. As a half, not even a mother could love.
we got some numbers to throw at you about this first half in a minute. It was different for the AFL. Let's leave it at that. Here's Baronis to kick off. Sia Burley deep in his end zone, one hop off the net. Looking for some running room up the right sideline. Cut back, first grabbed by Corey Johnson and then dropped to the ground by Josh White. 19-yard return. Otis Livingston, what have you observed?
I talked to both coaches at halftime, and Todd Shell echoed pretty much what he talked to us about before the game. It's turnovers. They're shooting themselves in the foot. He said that he's very proud of his defense, though, because of the defense, they are still in the game. On the other side, Waylon Harding said they're not taking advantage of all those opportunities that they've gotten, the stops and the interceptions of Cedric Bonner. He says they have to get into an offensive rhythm. We'll see if Aaron Garcia can get that done here in the second half. Guys, back up to you.
If there was a musician playing the rhythm this game has had, he'd be out of work quick. Randy Gatewood on the pass on first down from Cedric Bonner, and it'll give him 12 yards and a first down across midfield for Arizona.
Yeah, thank you, Otis, for that great report. And if you're talking about rhythm, if the first half did have rhythm, it was the minuet, because you can't dance to it. That's how, I mean, no one could get a flow. Back and forth, disjointed. Every time it seemed someone had an advantage, they would give it back. Let's see if both teams can get into their normal rhythm here in the second half.
Right, typical of what you'd expect of the Rattlers and the Dragons is a high-scoring, well-played football game. We'll see if that's what we get in the second half. Bo Kelly to run, Jermaine Miles. A nice play off of his block to wrap up the Arizona fullback. 4-yard gain. It'll bring up second down for the Rattlers.
Good tackle by Jermaine Miles, because if he doesn't make that play, it becomes a one-on-one situation for Chris Angel, the defensive specialist, with Bo Kelly, the hard-running fullback for the Arizona Rattlers, one of 4 men in arena football history to have over 1,000 yards in his career on the ground.
Second down and 6 for Arizona. Ball just outside the New York 20-yard line. Pace is the motion man. Bonner to throw for Pace. Nice defensive play. Chris Angel closed the gap to the receiver quickly and got a fingertip on the ball.
Yes, he did. Great observation, partner. And essentially, that was a one-receiver pattern called by Larry Kuharich. Used the other 2 receivers to run short and try and keep the defense close to the line of scrimmage and let Pace go one-on-one with Angel as he came in motion and got downfield. And as you observed, Alan, Angel closing the gap, coming underneath and taking the arm away so Pace can't make the catch.
Yeah, maybe he didn't get a fingertip on the ball there, but
he got the front arm out of it. Yep. And Pace never could recover in order to go for the ball.
Third down and 6 for Arizona. Bonner with time, throws to Sia Burley. Billy Parker wrestles into the ground, but forward progress will give him first down yardage for Arizona.
Terrific throw, terrific catch, because Sia Burley hands caught that ball. Did not use his body, speared it with his mitts, and pulled it into his body to protect it as he absorbed the hit from Billy Parker coming from behind. Said Bonner had a lot of pace on that pass.
Yeah. So Arizona putting together one of the better looking drives of the game so far to open the second half. Ball down to the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Bonner, the tight end pass for a touchdown to Wendell Gaines. Arizona crisply down the field to put 6 on the board.
And by my count, I believe the 3rd catch of the day for Wendell Gaines.
I'll agree.
Got to him twice in the first half, and then this one goes for the touchdown. And we spotlighted Wendell Gaines at the start of the game, that when they like to throw it short and for a changeup, he's a terrific target. And the first drive of the second half, hey, that looked like football.
That looked like the Rattlers. Danny Kite to try the point after again. Oh, boy. But a flag down. Let's check the penalty flag on the point after try and see if Mr. Kite's going to get another chance.
Offside, defense, number 56. Half the distance, replay the try.
Let's see if Todd Shell changes up and goes for 2, or if he says, Danny Kite, I've got to get you some confidence, kick it again, and try and aim between the posts.
Look at the coach.
Please.
I can't watch.
Remember, Todd Shell, remember, he's the one who called Danny Kite.
Yeah.
That was his call.
All right. Drum roll, please. There you go. Mr. Kite is off the schneid, and Arizona marches down the field to open the second half, closes it to a 2-point ball game.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
All right, here's one. You're stranded on the island. Name 3 things that you want with you.
A beautiful woman,
an endless supply of Bud Light. And oh yeah, another beautiful woman. You know?
Hey, Sid.
Mm-hmm.
When are you gonna paint the hut?
Not until he builds the raft.
He said he was gonna build the raft yesterday.
Girl,
My mama told me not to get stranded with you.
Oh, I got to work on my fantasies.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
It's all here.
I'm here with Ty Murray, who's trying Quizno's Steakhouse beef dip sub. How is it, Ty?
This thing's tasty, Bob.
I see you're dipping it in the pan-roasted au jus, too.
Yep.
What do you say you, give me a little nibble there, Ty, huh? Just a taste-a-roo?
You know you're not big enough, little man.
You are so cold, cowboy.
Get our Steakhouse beef dip sub. It's loaded with tender roast beef and toasted to perfection for just $2.99 every day.
Just $2.99 every day.
Quiznos. Toasty.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by Quiznos. Come on in and try Quiznos Steakhouse Beef Dip Sub. Now at participating Quiznos for just $2.99 every day. By NBA Street V3 and EA Sports Big. Leave your mark with the Trick Stick. And by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. After a struggling first half in which Todd Shell's quarterback Cedric Bonner went only 6 of 17 and threw 3 picks, they marched crisply down the field to start the third quarter and closed to within 2 points of the New York Dragons. Kevin Swain takes the kick 4 yards deep in his end zone, looking for some running room near side, tries the cutback. He will not escape from Tom Pace, and he's wrapped up in dropped forward progress to the 6-yard line.
That's a terrific kickoff, because that's what they tell kickers in this league. Make your extra points. Put the ball off the net on kickoff so we can get downfield and cover, and field goals almost become gravy. You're not worried as much about that percentage.
Look at the smile.
Yes, I did it.
I got a point after try. I got the kickoff down. All right, it's getting better.
Okay.
It's getting better.
I'm getting into the flow.
Here's New York's offense for their first possession of quarter number 3, starting from their own 9-yard line is where they'll now spot the ball. Aaron Garcia under center. The quick pass to Mike Horacek, far side. Can't get away from Randy Gatewood, but he will have a nice gain out to the 16-yard line. He'll give him 7 yards and bring up 2nd and short.
And I don't believe that was a play that was called from the sideline. I think Aaron Garcia saw his receiver without any defense near him, what they call an uncovered receiver, because Arizona had not gotten into proper position yet and just raised up from the line of scrimmage and threw it to him and took the 7-yard gain.
2nd down for the Dragons. Horacek, motion near side, and this will be a pitch to Josh White, who's got the first down and more. Out to midfield before he's tripped up and brought down by Clarence Lawson, 27 for Arizona. 9-yard gain on 2nd and short.
The man they call Zeus, Josh White from Cal. The Cal Berkeley Golden Bears. Watch the block coming at you on the left side, number 18. Miles, see the block right there? That gave him an alley and made it a one-on-one tackle, and a good play by Clarence Lawson, who was really outsized, but brought down Josh White.
At midfield, the ball lies 1st and 10 for New York. Garcia throwing downfield. Horacek is wide open. Talked about being in his own area code before. That was definitely a blown assignment. 25 yards, Garcia to Horacek. And that looked like the New York Dragons offense that we expect.
And Todd Shell said that did not look like the Arizona Rattlers defense, because you called it, Alan, a total bust in the coverage. Clarence Lawson back there just jumped a short receiver and let a man go open, wide open down the middle. Touchdown.
And then was standing there staring while Horacek went into the end zone for the catch.
Well, I tried that trick many a time and said, well, you know, that's supposed to be someone else's coverage.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Point after try is good by Varonis. 25 yards. Garcia to Horacek. Horacek's 2nd touchdown reception of the day. And the New York Dragons add 7 to their total 34-25 here on Long Island.
Thank you for calling ADT Security Services.
I just wanted you to know that security system saved me twice.
You all have given me peace of mind.
I tell everybody I see, get an ADT security system.
Like these customers and millions more, you'll feel more secure with ADT in your home. ADT helps protect your family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save over $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. And you may save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
The Netscape Internet service lets me choose if I want to have their unlimited access for just $9.95.
So does NetZero.
And Netscape lets me have Web Accelerator for free with their $9.95 plan. NetZero charges $14.95 for their service with Web Accelerator. What do you get with NetZero?
I'm a Netscape guy.
Right now, Netscape gives you free Web Accelerator to surf up to 5 times faster. NetZero charges $14.95. That's over 50% more. Get Netscape for $9.95. And if you sign up now, get a 1-month free trial.
Ready for a more exciting fantasy football experience? AFL Fantasy Football is back and better than ever. Log on to AFLFantasy.com for a chance to win weekly and season-long cash prizes. More yards. More scoring. More excitement. AFL Fantasy Football, powered by Sandbox. Sign up and get in on the action.
Welcome back to New York, where the Dragons just went up 34-25 in the third quarter on this touchdown pass from Aaron Garcia to Kevin Swain. He's just going to run right down the middle. But watch here, Clarence Lawson, watch what he does on coverage. Just sits down in the middle of the field and doesn't go with the receiver. A total coverage bust. And I think that Allen, even I, might have waltzed down the middle and possibly caught that one for a touchdown.
If you didn't pull up with a hamstring first. Otis.
Yeah, guys, very sloppy first half, turnovers, stops, but you guys were able to answer.
Yeah, we were. Our first half play was, we had a lot of mistakes, a lot of miscues. If we clean that up, we're up by probably 25, 30 points. So we just decided to come out in the second half and play hard, play smart, minimize the mistakes, and we'll come out with a win.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Back to you guys.
Mike Horacek, his second touchdown reception of the day. And now the Dragons to kick the ball away, leading by 9. Sia Burley back deep for the Arizona Rattlers.
I think Mike Horacek would love that coverage to be played every time he lined up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Anytime you have a bust, it couldn't have been any easier for Mike Horacek, who's made a ton of difficult catches in this league. That may have been the easiest one he's had in his career.
The Verona's kickoff over everything, and that'll go for a touchback to the 5-yard line. So Arizona will bring its offense out now to try and continue the smart play they had on their opening drive of the third quarter. Cedric Bonner, their quarterback, 4 for 4 on that drive and marching his team down the field after going just 6 for 17 with 3 interceptions in the first half.
Who was wearing Ced Bonner's jersey in the first half?
Man, no kidding, huh?
That was not him. But the second half, that drive we saw, that's Cedric Bonner. Let's see if he can continue that type of play.
That's Pace on the far side. Gatewood and Burley near side. No motion man this time. They throw to Pace. He's quickly hit and wrestled by Chris Angel. Going to spot the ball up at the 11-yard line and give him a 6-yard pickup and bring up second down.
I don't know about you, Alan, but I'm very impressed with the young defensive specialists of New York. Chris Angel, number 2, and Billy Parker, number 7. I think they both played terrific games today.
Well, Angel played for Coach Waylon Harding last year at Columbus when Harding was the defensive coordinator of the Destroyers. And you know, this AFL, as much free agency as there is, it's kind of like the corporate world. When the boss changes, he tends to bring in a lot of his people.
Exactly, people he knows have bought into his system.
Bonner with time, flag down, Gatewood, and who's that? Corey Johnson, tangled feet, and the ball falls incomplete. We'll check the flags. I believe it's going to be holding on the Rattlers.
And no call on them getting tangled up downfield going for the football.
And it is. And it's holding because there's no call for tackling by the offense.
It's supposed to block on offense.
Holding. Defense. Number 89. The penalty is half the distance. Replay second down.
That would be Wendell Gaines.
And they were on offense.
Yeah. Speaking of the boss bringing his people with him, these are all former New York Dragons that are now a member of the Arizona Rattlers organization after Todd Shell resigned from here in New York to take the job in the town where his family lives.
And Anthony Hutch and Kerry Taylor, neither one playing today due to injury, but the whole coaching staff came with him. Derek Chauchere, the defensive coordinator, Larry Kuharich, the offensive coordinator.
More flags as Burley pulls in the pass, runs away from Corey Johnson, still runs, gets a block from Gatewood, and goes to the end zone. We'll check the flag and see if the play stands.
That's why you play it all the way out, in case the play is going to stand in your favor.
Offside defense, number 18. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So a 44-yard touchdown grab. Cedric Bonner looking much better in this third quarter than he did in the first half, and Sia Burley is on the board for the Arizona Rattlers.
How about the great run after catch by Burley? Hauls it in, sets up a block, and then cuts back the opposite way and outruns everyone else to the end zone. Terrific play.
And he caught the ball just shy of midfield.
Yes, made it all happen.
Yep.
Picked up a block on the first one and then made it all happen himself from there on out.
Here's Danny Kite for another point after try. Clang. Wide left. He's not going to enjoy seeing the film of this game.
I'm not sure he's going to watch the film of this game.
1 for 4 today on the point afters. Watch where Burley catches the ball.
You saw Miles 18 jump. That was what the flag was for. And watch the cut inside. So that helped him set up a block. And then he came back the other way, and Pace actually got a second block, which was more like a pick in basketball because he brought the defender back into it.
Much better start to the third quarter for Cedric Bonner and the Arizona Rattlers.
You say you love poker, but you can't always get a game together?
Here's the answer. PokerStars.net.
Well, there's always a table open, day or night.
And every game and tournament is 100% free.
PokerStars keeps track of your statistics and lets you take notes.
Even put on your own personal game face.
And you can test your skills against some of the best poker players around.
Maybe even a world champion.
Or two.
PokerStars.net.
Where tomorrow's winners get their start today.
This is Hall's. And this is Hall's Fruit Breezers. A different kind of taste sensation from Hall's that'll give your dry, scratchy throat a cooling lift. Hall's Fruit Breezers. Treat your throat.
Life on a street stinks.
We need odor protection.
Only Odor Eaters has Sorbitex technology to absorb sweat and destroy odor on contact.
Don't just fight foot odor and wetness.
Whack it with Odor Eaters Ultra Comfort insoles. This summer, you can do it yourself, or you can go pro. The Do Action Sports Tour. Coming June to NBC.
NBC Monday, it's Fear Factor Reality All-Stars, but don't think we're going to be going easy on them. Fear Factor Reality All-Stars, NBC Monday at 8, 7 Central.
3-point ball game here at the Nassau Coliseum. New York Dragons leading the Arizona Rattlers, and the 3 points all missed point after tries for Arizona's struggling young kicker. I say young in terms of AFL experience. He's 33 years old. Flags are down as Holder takes the ball off the nets for the Dragons, is met at the goal line, loses the football. Hunky Cooper's on it for an Arizona touchdown. We'll check the flags. But Will Holder, after running a kick back for a touchdown earlier, loses the ball at his own goal line. Hunky Cooper falls on it in the New York end zone. And that could be a huge momentum swing in this ball game.
And for fans who are at home,
offside, kicking team, number 14. That is a 5-yard penalty. First down.
So now we know why Hunky was down there so fast. But for folks at home who are wondering why would you run it out when they're coming down like that, in arena football you have to make an attempt to run the football out. If you get tackled in the end zone, the ball comes to the 5-yard line, so they don't penalize you for making you do something. You know, that they want to have the excitement of the return in the game. That's why Will Holder was trying to bring it out. But you still have to hold on to the ball.
So is this one of those 14-point swing mistakes? What would have been 6 for Arizona if New York marches down the field and scores.
And would have put Arizona in a position to take the lead in the ball game.
Although the officials are still huddling over the call down in the New York end zone.
You know, you get used to kickers and their timing, Alan, and how they approach the football on a kickoff. You wonder with the new kicker, Danny Kite, whether they've had that type of an issue, trying to approach the ball and time it up. It's like knowing how guys shoot free throws in basketball. Remember Larry Johnson? Grandmama had that hesitation, and if you didn't scout it, people dove into the lane, and then they'd get called for a violation.
Offside, kicking team, number 14, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So it's 5 yards from the touchback spot, which is the 5-yard line. And so New York gets the ball at the 10-yard line.
Very fortunate right now. So what New York has to be thinking is we need to take advantage of this second opportunity we were given.
Aaron Garcia under center. Throws near side for Kevin Swain. Tries to scoot away from one and does, but is wrapped up and dropped by Evan Lavasek after a 7-yard pickup. Aaron Garcia, 3 touchdown passes on the day so far against Arizona.
Similar to Cedric Bonner, trying to pick up the pace in the second half. That was early in the game when he hit Mike Horacek, and then he came back near the half with a touchdown to Will Holder, and that was the easiest one of the day to Mike Horacek against a blown coverage of Arizona.
Second and short for the Dragons. Garcia looks far side. Anthony with the reception dodges the tackle and is across midfield down to the 16-yard line. Finally brought down by Hunky Cooper, retreating from his linebacker spot. 17-yard gain, but there is a flag and it's coming back.
And Evan Lavasek, we'll hear about this in film. The rule for a defensive back, if you're going to come underneath.
Offense number 99, half the distance, replay second down.
Fortunate, Stacey Evans gets the penalty, but the rule is simple, Alan. If you as a defensive back or a defender are coming underneath the ball to try and make a play on it, you had better get it, because if you don't, usually it's off to the races. He was fortunate. Chris Anthony was tackled on that play.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Former defensive back for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yes, sir.
Do you know this lesson from experience, the consequences?
Yes,
okay.
And the consequences are severe. as they say, if you miss, there will be consequences and repercussions.
There's a lot of stadium steps to run at Neyland Stadium, huh? Tip ball at the line of scrimmage. It falls incomplete. Anthony was trying to come back for it.
Alan, unfortunately, I'm familiar with every one of them.
I'll bet you are. So it brings up second down and a little bit over 11. We'll call it a long 11 for New York. And they'll spot the ball at the 8-yard line. Watch Vince Amy.
Great job on the pass rush. If you can't get to the quarterback, and the ball's thrown, get your hands in the passing lane, hoping to deflect the pass, and Vince Amy did just that.
Third down. Garcia stumbles on his back pedal. No pressure, though. Wide open down the field. Touchdown, Dragons. Kevin Swain. No other question than a blown coverage.
And that's 2 straight possessions with a blown coverage. And Evan Lavasek, who came underneath and missed before, appeared to be in that area again on the blown coverage. Remember, this is his first game back from a hamstring injury. His first game playing this year with a brand new team, the Arizona Rattlers. Todd Shell's showing the frustrated look at the bench like, what was that? I know we don't practice that. So I'm not sure if one thought, you know, if one guy thought it was a zone, and it was man-to-man. Other guy thought it was man, and it was zone. You get the idea. But they had 3 guys guarding 2, but the 3rd guy was wide open.
Oh, nice grab by the holder, Bowden. But the timing thrown off on the kick, and Barones pulls it wide left. The snap was high. And Bowden did a nice job to pull that one down and even give Barones a chance.
Right here, keep an eye on this receiver and watch him run his pattern. Because now back here in the secondary, you've got 3 defenders who end up taking 2. And it's what they call a wheel route. upfield to the sideline, and then up the sideline looking back for the ball. And on the wheel, things just kept turning the right way for the New York Dragons. Man, I tell you what, Mike Karachek and Kevin Swain can go to the bench and compare notes about, hey, was yours easier or was mine easier? Either way, that was a walk in the park, Kazansky.
That's about the easiest 41-yard touchdown pass you'll have in the AFL. And so New York, with the missed point after, puts 6 back up on the board. And we'll kick the ball away to Arizona, whose offense is looking much better in the second half, but whose defense suddenly, after playing so well in the first half, suddenly finding themselves struggling. Coach Waylon Harding pondering things for the New York Dragons. First season as an AFL head coach. 33 years old. Youngest head coach in this football league.
Let's see if Evan Lavasek is going to try and atone for the last series on defense. He gets a quick opportunity as the kick returner.
Ran one back for a touchdown in the first quarter. 56 yards for Lavasek. And with a 9-point ball game, and a little under 4 minutes to go in the quarter, Barones puts one over everything. Wow. Nice catch in the grandstands. Let's run the kid over to get the ball. And there's a flag on the field. And we'll check the officials' huddle. Second one in the ball game that Barones has put over the back nets.
And we're not even at altitude. We see that with Colorado a lot when they play in the Pepsi Center.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 95. The penalty is assessed half the distance from the 5-yard line. First down.
Kelvin Ingram tagged for the personal foul. Otis?
Yeah, I guess in this league you have to have a short memory, not exactly an Aaron Garcia-like first half, but here you are driving your team down for 2 scores here in the second half.
Yeah, that's the thing about this team this year is defense kept us in it with a great first half. That's probably one of the worst halves, I've ever played. And second half, we got a lot to prove on offense, and we're trying to score every time we get the ball.
How imperative is it for you guys to keep on scoring? Your buddy Cedric Bonner seems to be getting into a little bit of a rhythm after showing rust in the first half.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Hunky Cooper loses the football. It's rolling toward the back of the end zone. Billy Parker picks it up. He's going to run it out. And he's dropped at the 14-yard line. There is a flag on the field. Some surprise that.
And of course, Arizona is hoping it goes against New York, but what a terrific play. Was that Chris Angel who ran him down and punched it free? That was spectacular. We got double flags on the play, though. Let's see how they sort it out. I mean, not only to catch Hunky Cooper, but to make a play by punching it free. The Lawrence Taylor influence felt everywhere.
Now let's see
the
what they
tackle
do
in
here.
the strip has become so prevalent on all levels of football.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding 98 offense, holding number 2 defense. The penalties will offset. Replay the down.
Much sound and fury signifying.
That is a huge break for the Arizona Rattlers.
Let me tell you something, though. If I am the coaching staff of the New York Dragons, Chris Angel's still getting a gold star or a big check for that play, however they do it on their grading system.
Yep.
And I know the play doesn't exist in the official stats now, but that's the effort that you clip out and make sure everyone sees that play over and over. That's what we want on this football team.
So the Rattlers will try again from their own 2.5-yard line. Flags jumping offside for the... I'm sorry, my thought train got interrupted there because after the defensive player jumped offside, the offensive guy grabbed him by the back of the collar and threw him to the ground, and the referee had already thrown his flag. He had to throw his hat.
And how about this, Alan? The line judge, Tom Simonette, not only did he throw his flag, but he was out of flags, so he had to throw his hat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying,
So, when you run out of things, you just keep emptying out the rest of the outfit.
There are 2 fouls on the play.
So
offside, defense, holding, offense, penalties offset, replay first down.
So I know the hat's the thing when you spot a second infraction.
Right.
What's the third? Do you throw your shoe or your shirt?
That's a great question. There's some things they shouldn't throw.
So jumping offside on the right end.
And look at the penalty numbers. And see, this 8 and 6, there's 14 combined, but we've gone back to back where penalties offset and don't go into the official stats. See, those would have been additional penalties today.
Handoff inside, and nothing there for Phil Glover. And Richard Harris on the stop for New York. He was the guy that jumped offside on the last play and started that whole sequence. Cedric Bonner, first half to second half, different guy.
I go back to what we said in the first half. There was some rust.
Yeah.
And I think there's also the element of trusting his knee again. Making sure that when he stepped into throws and the pain he had, plus he had a big rush in his face most of the first half.
Bonner launches downfield. Lavasek, nice comeback for the ball. Can he get away from the defender? No, he stepped out of bounds, and it's an incomplete pass. They're saying he was standing on the sidelines when he caught the ball.
Wow, and what happened on that one was Cedric Bonner threw it a little bit short, but Evan Lavasek saw it short. Watch where he catches it. I think his back foot contacts the board before he comes down. And left foot, and then, as you said, Alan, he's standing on the sideline when he finally possesses the football. See, he kicks the board, bobbles it, and then he's on the sideline when he makes the actual catch. A terrific call by the officials, staying with the play and bringing it back.
So the incompletion brings up 3rd and 10 and adds to Todd Shell's aggravation.
Is there a therapist in the house? Because Coach Shell might want to talk to someone when this one's over.
But through all the mistakes, it's only a 9-point ball game.
Exactly.
And lots of time left. Bonner throws on 3rd and long. Juggling catch. Gatewood brings it in, and he's got first down yardage out at the 18-yard line. Will Holder couldn't knock the ball away. And a 15-yard pickup on 3rd down and 10.
And when you've been around 12 years playing quarterback in this league, what you do learn is you have to throw it from every angle, whether you have balance, sometimes you're throwing off the wrong foot. Ced Bonner dropped, I think, almost a sidearm to make sure he was able to sling that one in there and get it to Randy Gatewood. Watch Bonner. See that? See the delivery? Low and to the side, and really curved it back into Randy Gatewood. How about that? That wasn't his fastball. That was his off-speed breaker on the black.
And it brings us to the end of quarter number 3, a 9-point ball game. Back after these messages from your local NBC station.
They've come from across America.
My father's a doctor with the Navy, and he's in Afghanistan right now.
But they have one thing in common, the desire to be a champion.
This copyrighted telecast of the Arena Football League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written permission of the AFL and NBC.
Nassau Coliseum getting set to start the 4th quarter between the Arizona Rattlers and the New York Dragons. A game very sloppily played in the first half, but both offenses suddenly coming alive in the 3rd quarter. And that man, Danny Kite, in his first AFL game as a kicker, could decide this ball game.
And he's had a foot in it already. Not a hand, but a foot. 3 missed extra points.
Yep.
He's missed a field goal attempt. So as you say, he really could come into play late and maybe erase those memories.
Over the top of Randy Gatewood, the first play of the 4th quarter, the pass from Cedric Bonner, and it's incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down and 10, the Rattlers at their own 18-yard line. This game in the first half, just one filled with mistakes. The missed point afters, penalties, interceptions, 4 of them in the first half. A fumble. 2 kick returns for touchdowns, but the 3rd quarter very crisply played for these teams.
It's like they shook it all off at the half and came out of the sloppy persona and back into their normal uniforms themselves.
Wow, look at Garcia's face. Took the elbow in practice earlier this week, the 5 stitches, the big black eye. Bonner hit as he throws, intercepted. Horacek looking for the end zone, and he's going to have a touchdown. No flags. What was that I was just saying about crisply played? And
every time we think they've got it evened out, but on that one, it wasn't so much Cedric Bonner being sloppy. It was the pass rush of the New York Dragons. I believe Marcus Owen, number 66, they call him Snowball. who's been going downhill all day at the quarterback, helped force another interception, the 4th of the day against Cedric Bonner, the 2nd return for a touchdown. Horacek adding to Corey Johnson's in the first half.
Verona's on for the point after try. This one is good. And that makes it a 16-point ball game.
Watch Cedric Bonner in the pocket. The problem he's had all day is he's not able to complete throws. See? They've already got him wrapped up. 0-66. Jermaine Miles, 18, share in the play. Zeus White, number 40. Josh White helped collapse the pocket, and when Bonner threw the ball, he had no zip on it because he's unable to step into it.
He had Gatewood open, but instead the ball went short to Horacek, and an interception return for a touchdown by the New York Dragons.
The AFL on NBC next Sunday at a special time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
I want to see my fighter. Come on. Kid, how many fingers I got up?
4.
What city are we in?
I don't know.
You remember what you did last night?
No.
Remember what I did last night?
No.
He's fine. It's all good. Let him in.
The new hot, fresh toasted subs are here. Like the Chipotle chicken and bacon double cheese melt. Toasted hot inside and out. Subway, eat fresh.
At Geico.com, you can get free rate quotes and handle all your car insurance needs online. But we like to make it interesting. Here's an idea we received via email. Yo, I think your website would be the bomb if you had the gecko do the robot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The AFL on NBC brought to you by Subway. It's always been fresh. Now it can be toasted. Experience the new great taste of a fresh toasted sub today. Subway. Eat fresh. By Las Vegas, home of Arena Bowl 19, Sunday, June 12th. Don't miss the party. And by Aquavelva. Aquavelva keeps your face toned and fit. There's something about an Aquavelva man. Interception return for touchdown, opening up a 16-point lead for the New York Dragons over the Arizona Rattlers. And now Verona's to kick off to actually, that's it's not Lavasek, that's going to be Tom Pace back deep.
You know, earlier in the game, in this type of a situation, New York tried an onside kick that didn't work for them. I don't think they do it here, obviously, because they've got them on the run and the defense is playing well.
And the squib kick out the back of the end zone, and Arizona will start from their own 5-yard line. Don't forget, at AFLFantasy.com, you can sign up for free fantasy football and a chance to win $20,000 in prizes. Plus, get the latest stats, news, and up-to-date player information as you go. AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox.
Now, people at home are probably saying to themselves, okay, with the day Cedric Bonner's having, why don't you substitute and go to Joe Germain, go to the backup? Well, 2 reasons. One, Ced Bonner's had days like this before, and you let him play his way through it. He's earned that right. The second reason, Joe Germain has struggled himself with turnovers during his 3 starts. They were 0-3. They'd rather go with the veteran, Ced Bonner, to try and work his way out of this one.
Needs to rally from behind now. Into the 4th quarter, far side, Randy Gatewood with the catch. Will Holder will push him out at the 20-yard line. It's good for 15 yards and a first down. Otis, what do you got?
Dragons bench right next to Aaron Garcia, and he said of all the games that they've played against each other, that's he and his good friend Cedric Bonner, he said they've only both played well 1 time. So I said it was kind of like Venus and Serena Williams going up against each other, and he said, yeah, but I'm Serena.
Okay.
As long as Aaron doesn't wear the cat suit, we'll be okay.
From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, Arizona off the hands of Sia Burley, and Bonner is dropped on his back by Marcus Owen. and came up looking for a flag, but gets none, and it brings up 2nd down and 10.
Tell you one thing, number 66 in black has not been blocked very often today. And this one here is way late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things when we talked with some people in the Arizona organization, they felt that Cedric Bonner got hurt on a late hit in the Grand Rapids game. You can't afford to have your quarterback hurt like that. I love Marcus Owens' pressure, but he dumped the quarterback way after the ball was thrown there.
6th time today, New York has knocked the Arizona quarterback down. 2nd and 10. Bonner throws. Got a man. Pace driven into the sideboards by Chris Angel with a hard tackle. But it's inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Rattlers.
Chris Angel will strike you, won't he?
Boy.
Had 142 tackles his senior year at Western Oregon in college. But a nice play by Tom Pace. Twofold. One, he ensured the catch. And 2, he used his body to keep the ball away from Chris Angel, knowing full well he was going to take the brunt of a hit and then run into the boards, and still held on to the ball.
1st and goal from the 5-yard line for Arizona. Bonner throws, and Burley tangled up in a pile of New York receivers. Billy Parker and Will Holder there. And the ball falls incomplete in the corner of the end zone.
Great coverage by Billy Parker. Able to settle into his stance, did not backpedal and give up ground because he's near the goal line. Waited for Cy Burley to do all his shaking and baking and still come to him. And then he was able to press up on him and not allow him to get into his pattern. Terrific coverage by the rookie.
Billy Parker, 23 years old, out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, a suburb of Richmond. Went to college at William & Mary. 4 interceptions in his first 4 AFL games. Bonner, this time all kinds of time. Wide open is Tom Pace for the Arizona touchdown. So the Rattlers continuing to persist. Fight their way down the field. And after the 25-yard reception to Pace that got them inside the 10, they get the 5-yard strike, and Pace goes into the end zone for a 2nd time today.
And you notice no kicker running onto the field.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Todd Shell even thought about glancing over in his direction. Let's go for 2.
And they're down by 10.
That way, if he can make it an 8-point game, if they score and go for 2 again, he could be tied.
That wasn't even close. I think that one's
just a bit outside.
I think that slipped out of his hands as he let go of that one. And the
look at, is he fighting with that young lady?
That young lady might be here with him.
No date for you, buddy.
So over 2 on the 2-point conversions today for the Rattlers, and it is a 10-point ball game. 9 minutes 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Tom Pace on the receiving end of the Cedric Bonner touchdown pass.
Start the day with a splash. Bring on the blue. Moving to the horizon. Splash. Bring on the blue. Now you're flying again.
That aqua velva face, so firm, so fit. That manly scent.
Bring on the blue. Comes that cool blast you're feeling. Splash. Bring on the blue. As she touches your skin.
It just feels better with an aqua velva man.
The Netscape internet service lets me choose if I want to have their unlimited access for just $9.95.
So does NetZero.
And Netscape lets me have Web Accelerator for free with their $9.95 plan. NetZero charges $14.95 for their service with Web Accelerator. What do you get with NetZero?
I'm a Netscape guy.
Right now, Netscape gives you free Web Accelerator to surf up to 5 times faster. NetZero charges $14.95. That's over 50% more. Get Netscape for $9.95. And if you sign up now, get a 1-month free trial.
Thursday on The Apprentice, an innocent task becomes a kid's worst nightmare.
Give me a high five.
Oh, and one more thing.
Shut up.
Meltdown.
I had nothing at all to my name.
All New Apprentice, NBC Thursday.
10-point ball game, 9.5 minutes to go here at Nassau Coliseum. New York leading Arizona 47-37. And don't forget, more AFL action headed your way later this week. 6 games airing on Fox Sportsnet and NBC in the coming week. New Orleans picked up another big win, an overtime win over Tampa Bay last Saturday night. And they take on the Dallas Desperados in Big D. And our slate of games next Sunday, including the defending Arena Bowl champion SaberCats traveling to Orlando. And an Eastern Division matchup, New York and Philadelphia. That'll be big, especially the way the playoff format is set in the AFL in 2005.
And someone who needs a win in a big way are the San Jose SaberCats.
Yeah. Yeah.
The team that won the Arena Football League championship last year.
And they're 1-3 to start this year.
Tough start to this season for them.
And that is going to be a kickoff mistake by Danny Kite because the ball went out of bounds on the fly in the end zone.
Free kick out of bounds. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 20-yard line. First down.
Just has not been his day, has it?
No. No.
I mean, no matter what, it's just gone wrong.
You and I were laughing. Last year, Orlando, in a game at Los Angeles, their kicker had gotten hurt, and they brought in a replacement kicker, came down from San Francisco, kicked the game-winning field goal. And they put him in a cab and sent him to the airport because the team bus was going out to eat before a red-eye flight. We were kind of thinking, I don't know if Danny's going to be on the team bus back to LaGuardia tonight or not.
Tough one for him. But right now, they've got to find a way to put him in position to possibly help him out later.
Garcia throws far side. Chris Anthony, what a stick. Nakia Adderson and Clarence Lawson on the defense for Arizona, but a 7-yard pickup for the Dragons, and the clock runs, probably more important for them, with a 10-point lead. Watch the stick here.
Textbook high-low. Addison from behind, and Lawson, number 27, right down the middle of Chris Anthony, who did a great job of holding on to the football.
Had to give you one of those nose jobs where your chin strap ends up under your nose instead of your chin.
One of those chin checkers.
Yeah. Garcia hit as he throws, but wide open is Swain in the end zone for the touchdown. Third time today, there has been nobody near a New York receiver on his way to the end zone.
On that play, I think Kevin Swain just turned Clarence Lawson all the way around and turned him so much. He became like one of those battling tops, and he spun out of control and actually ran over the back judge on the play, Greg Wilson. And Greg Wilson is part of the playing field. So there won't be anything that goes back and helps out the defense. It's just the way it goes, but a terrific move that sets up another touchdown for New York.
The Veronis extra point try is good. Kevin Swain, after missing the first 2 games of this season on injured reserve, 5 touchdown passes in his game last week at Nashville, and 2 today here at home against Arizona.
See the move that he turned Clarence Lawson into a baseball roll, where he had to turn all the way around, kind of like a center fielder going for a fly ball, and turns and goes the other way. Instead, he runs into the back judge, and Swain comes down with a touchdown pass.
Put 7 more on the board for New York.
I will not be afraid of the dark.
I will not feel guilty leaving my dog alone.
I will know my children are safe.
I will finally be able to relax!
A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save over $100 off the regular price when you buy ADT's family package. Plus save up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT, always there.
Bud Light, please.
I'd like to buy you that Bud Light.
No, thank you.
But I insist.
Ay, ay, ay. Hey, you don't hear the lady, my friend? You got hair gel in your ears, lover boy?
Hey, step back, huh?
Step back? I step back to hack and suck right after I plucked you clean like a turkey puppy. Adios, muchacho.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light. It's all here.
You don't want to go there, puppy.
Hey, Bob here for Quiznos. Did you hear Quiznos is now offering their steakhouse beef dip sub for just $2.99 every day? It's stacked high with tender, juicy roast beef, melted Swiss cheese, and it's all oven toasted on their awesome bread. It even comes with pan-roasted au jus for dipping. Man, I wish I had the motor skills to dip one of those bad boys.
Get our Steakhouse Beef Dip Sub. It's loaded with tender roast beef and toasted to perfection for just $2.99 every day.
Just $2.99 every day.
Quiznos. Toasty.
Aaron Dales Garcia, the toughest QB in the league. Lead slinger Tony Graziani, the laser-armed left-hander. The scoreboard will need a breather in this East Coast showdown on NBC next Sunday, noon Eastern.
Battered and bruised, but still effective. Aaron Garcia hooking up with Kevin Swain on a 23-yard touchdown strike, and New York up 17 points on the Arizona Rattlers with 7 minutes 43 seconds to go in the ball game. New York looking to extend its record to 3-1 on this season, already having had their bye week. There's the onside kick. Bodies flying around, flags are down, and Arizona has fallen on the ball. Bottom of the pile, Clarence Lawson, who has, it's fair to say, had his struggles today. 27 for the Rattlers. And we'll check the flags. It might be a New York offsides. Arizona might get this ball first and goal inside the 10.
That was Waylon Harding, the head coach of New York, going for the crusher.
Just trying to take the possession away from Arizona.
Try to take the possession and really, you know, really sink it in on them.
Well, you know, there is...
And I don't mean trying to run it up. I mean trying to put this game away.
There is a philosophy, and I think it's a valid one, that when you've got somebody down, you've got to put your foot on their chest and hold them there, and not give them a chance to get back up. Too many times in sports we see people back off, and here comes the charge.
And it comes back and burns you, because once you get a team once your team shuts down its motor, hard to start it up again. And once the other team starts charging, now they have the advantage. And a lot of times you let healthy leads get away when you start trying to play more defensively than offensively.
All right, let's sort this out.
The kicking team blocked illegally below the waist before the ball traveled 10 yards. The penalty is half the distance. Arizona retains possession. First down.
All right, so Todd Shell's team gets first and goal at the 5, and Waylon Harding's defense will now try and see if they can make a brave goal line stand, something that's very tough to do in this offensive-oriented league.
Well, the second time they've onside kicked and had a penalty and given Arizona the short field with a chance to score.
Cedric Bonner under center. Evan Lavasek is the motion man. First and goal at the 5. Lavasek, did he pull it in? No, the ball's underneath him. Up against the side barriers, and it's incomplete. Chris Angel defending for the New York Dragons, and Lavasek just not able to come up with that one.
Great hustle by Greg Wilson, the back judge on the play, coming from the middle of the field, spies the ball down and comes in with a definitive call. Watch Lavasek lay out for it. Ball's in his arms, in his shoulders.
Under his legs.
Under his legs. And Greg Wilson caught it.
See him try to pass the ball toward the boards and pull it up.
He gave it an effort.
Yeah. Arizona calling a timeout as the play clock was down to just 5 seconds.
And when you're the team that's down, you can't afford to blow a timeout in this situation.
Yeah.
Because you might need those later if you're going to try and make any type of rally.
Yeah. Todd Shell's team, if they're not able to come back and win this game, will start this season 1-4. How much of a concern for Arizona? Well, last year, they started 3-5 and then finished the season with 8 straight wins to end up 11-5, went through the playoffs to the Arena Bowl, where they lost to the eventual champion San Jose SaberCats. The year before that, in 2003, they started 4-5, then went 6-1, finished 10-6, went to the Arena Bowl. It's not the end of the world, but they're not looking sharp at all.
No, and as they told us when we talked with Ced Bonner on the phone this week, said one of the things that's kept us going is we realize that we don't want to be in this position, but we haven't lost division games yet.
Yeah.
You know, they lost 1 conference game so far, but no division games, and the key is to win your division to get into the playoffs, because this year division champ is assured
automatically in.
No
matter what your overall record, if you're a division champion, you are in the postseason. Second down and goal from the 5. Bonner throws, intercepted. He threw it right in the hands of Josh White. Rumbling down the sidelines. Finally caught up from behind and dragged down by Phil Glover. I don't know how you miss a 255-pound guy in a big black shirt and orange helmet, but there's no way Cedric Bonner saw him.
He was just trying to get the ball to Hunky Cooper, his old reliable target, and Zeus White stepped in front and reclaimed his glory days from college. Normally, Zeus is the MAC linebacker, and in this game, the MAC linebacker usually rushes the passer, but there's no rule that says that he has to. So on this play, Waylon Harding had him staying back in coverage, and he makes the pick. Another turnover, and if I'm Arizona, I think that's it today for Ced Bonner, his 5th interception, because I think he just lived to fight another day now with him and let him come back next week.
Garcia hands off inside to Kevin Clemens. Clock runs, coming down to 6 minutes to go in the ball game. By the way, 34-yard return for Josh White, setting New York up in business inside the 15-yard line.
And you know, this may be one of the few times you'll see New York actually try and run a little bit of clock. You know, normally they just want to go in attack mode, as they call it. Aaron Garcia said, hey, we're only going to run clock this year in 1-minute timing rule situations. Let's see if that holds true, or if they try and take a little bit off here on this drive.
Garcia to throw, looking for Swain, over the top, out of the end zone. Here comes a late flag. Penalty was thrown in by the back judge. Might have been a little grabbing and clutching there on the coverage.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Be contact past the 5-yard zone.
That would be Mike I knew I was going to say his name wrong once today. Horacek, our U.S. Army Iron Man of the game. What a day it's been for Horacek.
He's catching the touchdown pass.
5 catches, 2 touchdowns. An interception return for a touchdown. Pretty good stuff. U.S. Army Iron Man of the game, Mike Horacek.
Returning to his roots. He'd been a two-way player when he broke into the league.
Yeah, it was 2000 was the last time.
Yeah, timeout charge to New York.
2000 was the last season that Horacek was a two-way player. And talked with him about getting used to playing defense again. And he said, well, tackling is fun, but getting back used to doing it again after so many years was awkward.
But what was that he told you that helped him in terms of going two-way again? Because previously as a two-way, he'd been a wide receiver defensive back.
Right.
Much more running, cutting, and driving, longer distances. Now he's playing the jack linebacker, confined to the box. That helps his experienced legs a little bit.
Throw to the far side to Corey Johnson on the flanker screen. Short gain. 3-yard pickup. Phil Glover on the stop for the Arizona Rattlers. And the ball down to the 5-yard line. And brings up second down. Corey Johnson had a big day himself here today, right? A couple of interceptions, 1 return for 6 points.
Corey's a former first-team All-AFL player, Defensive Rookie of the Year when he broke in with Nashville.
Had a 29-yard interception return, and also his other pickoff was in his own end zone. Flags down, back of the end zone, touchdown Chris Anthony, but it's probably coming back. Holding New York. I believe they're going to tag Kevin Clemens, the fullback, for a little clutch play.
Grab a little cloth.
Holding. Offense, number 56, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
See that? You gave up the wrong guy.
John Thomas.
Now, when Mrs. Clemens calls, okay?
My name is Charles Davis.
Yeah, that's Bestwick.
I'm the tall guy that used to play football for Tennessee.
Sure, just give up. Just throw your parts right over the wall.
And clock counting, winding down to the 4-minute mark. And a second down now and goal from the 15 for the Dragons. Garcia throws. They tried to pull the screen pass to Jamal Cherry, and Cherry hadn't quite pulled off his block and gotten enough field yet to take the ball in. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, the old tight end delay.
So Waylon Harding's young coaching staff for the New York Dragons.
Yeah, and that's from here over, because that's our man Otis right there trying to get in as part of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Now, Otis, you're with us. All right, you can't be part of the coaching staff because they're winning right now.
But age-wise, he'd fit right in, right?
Yes, he would. Look at that.
Right in that group.
All former players, 22 combined years of AFL playing experience, 14 years of coaching experience thus far.
Garcia on third down over the top of Swain. Defended there very nicely by Terrence Joseph. And it brings up a 4th down and goal from the 15 for the Dragons.
And to finish that off, the head coach, Waylon Harding, his first year here in New York, is the youngest head coach in the league at this time at 33 years of age.
Yep. Arizona stopping the clock at 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
There's Coach Harding right there, doing a great job.
And that using that timeout for Arizona, by the way, that's their second. Remember, they had to waste the one on the play clock earlier, Charles, so leaves them with just the one for the remaining 3 minutes. Next Sunday, the AFL on NBC, we will see these same New York Dragons in a very key Eastern Division early season matchup as they travel to Philadelphia to take on Tony Graziani and the Philadelphia Soul. Others will see Mark Grieve, the league's most accurate passer, and the defending Arena Bowl champion SaberCats take on the Orlando Predators. Noon Eastern the time, note that. Next Sunday, 9 Pacific, it's the AFL on NBC.
Good ball games next week.
Yeah. Maybe Aaron Garcia's eyes will look a little bit better next Sunday.
They'll feel better if Million Dollar Baby wins a bunch of awards tonight. You know, considering it looks like he did go a few rounds in that movie.
30-yard field goal try for Rob Baronis. 0 for 1 so far today. It's blocked. Kelvin Ingram got a mid on it. And here's Lavasek down the near sideline. There is a flag down. Lavasek with the blocked field goal return for touchdown will check the penalty. Kelvin Ingram got a paw on the Baronis field goal. And Evan Lavasek grabbed it out of midair and ran it back for 6.
As big as Kelvin Ingram is that a paw or a meat hook?
Yeah, it'd probably qualify either way.
After the field goal was blocked and possession changed, holding number 56 Arizona. They will retain possession of the ball, half the distance, first down.
Watch Kelvin Ingram.
Right in the middle, number 95, coming right there. Great push against Seifried, number 77. Just took him back towards the kicker and made a terrific play. Considering where they are during this ball game, that's great hustle by Kelvin Ingram. Even peeled back and got a block to try and help out on the play.
But that's the second time today that Arizona has had to take 6 points off the board by a penalty.
Todd Shell, you know, has preached discipline and has talked about it and discussed it. I'm not sure where he goes now to try and get his message through to his ball club.
Bonner throws. Sia Burley with Billy Parker with him stride for stride, and it falls incomplete and brings up 2nd down. Arizona going to go to the hurry-up offense here. They'll come right to the line of scrimmage.
See, I don't think that Todd Shell wants to wave the white flag. I had said on the last series I would go ahead and take Sid Bonner out and fight another day, but Todd Shell not ready to concede as early as I was.
Bonner throws to a wide-open Hunky Cooper. He is brought down at the 20-yard line by Chris Angel, and it's first down yardage for the Arizona Rattlers.
You know what else he's probably thinking, he and Larry Gerhardt, the offensive coordinator? They're hoping to get a good taste in the mouth of Sid Bonner in the offense, if nothing else, as they try and complete a drive for a touchdown and at least go away from it that way as opposed to going on another interception.
Through the hands of Randy Gatewood, incomplete. And it brings up 2nd down. Clock running inside of 2 minutes to go. Now remember, inside the final minute of the game, the clock stops on the out of bounds and the interceptions and to reset the first down markers, but the clock runs outside of that time period and precious seconds clicking away on the Rattlers, down by 17. Bonner to Gatewood near side, wrapped up there by Corey Johnson. Had to bobble the ball there for a minute. Johnson got a hand inside.
See, the clock's still running, so they need to hustle to try and conserve as much time before they get to the 1-minute timing rules.
7-yard gain, 3rd down and 3 for the Rattlers. Sia Burley, the motion man. Bonner with time, throws near side, intercepted, Chris Angel. And he's ridden out of bounds basically by his own man.
See, that's the risk that you run there, hoping to get a good taste in the mouth of Sid Bonner in the offense. Instead, it leads to the 6th interception. They've really got some work to do going into practice next week.
I would love to take a second and look up and see if that's a personal record for Sid Bonner. 6 interceptions in a game.
Well, I did take the liberty of looking at his personal record. Alan, he's only thrown double-digit interceptions twice in his career for a season.
For a season?
For a season.
Well, he's got 6 today. And the Dragons have the ball back with a minute to go in the ball game.
Cobra 6, this is Spectre 6.
Target acquired, over.
Target identified.
Element search for Hotel Victor Tangos 2 and 8. Execute assault time now.
Want to beat athlete's foot? Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
This is Hall's. And this is Hall's Fruit Breezers. A different kind of taste sensation from Hall's that'll give your dry, scratchy throat a cooling lift. Hall's Fruit Breezers. Treat your throat.
I want to see my fighter. Come on.
Kid, how many fingers I got up?
4.
What city are we in?
I don't know.
You remember what you did last night?
No.
Remember what I did last night?
No.
He's fine. It's all good. Let him in.
A new Law & Order series.
I strangled her, threw the body down the well.
That goes behind the scenes of the trial, the building of the prosecution.
It's a very strong circumstantial case.
The strategies of the defense.
I'd open with, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Where's the body?
Where's the body?
The new Law & Order series, Trial by Jury, premieres NBC Thursday after The Apprentice.
How about our ADT defensive play of the game?
Came early, and Corey Johnson got the New York Dragons off to a terrific start. Picking off Cedric Bonner and racing to the end zone for a touchdown.
29-yard interception return for score. Today's ADT defensive play of the game.
It's 1 of 2 interceptions that Corey Johnson had today. 1 of 6 that man, Cedric Bonner, has thrown this afternoon.
And I hate to say this for one of the AFL's all-time great quarterbacks, but that is a new league record for most interceptions in a game. That's 6. There's a touchdown. Garcia to Swain. Put 6 more on the board for the New York Dragons. The most previous interceptions that Cedric Bonner has ever thrown was 4 in a game last February 8th of 2004 at home against the Los Angeles Avengers. The AFL record was 5, and that's held by 6 different people, but no longer. And that interception quickly converted into points. The 3rd touchdown of the day for Kevin Swain. Check that, the 4th touchdown of the day for Swain. And Baronis on for the point after. And it's good. Okay, I was right the first time. His 3rd touchdown of the day.
Always trust your instincts.
No, my notes are a mess.
And look at Aaron Garcia rolling, stopped. Plenty of time. And of course, as always, plenty of arm to throw back across his body to Swain for the touchdown. What did Waylon Harding tell you, the head coach of New York Dragons? This is the first time we've had all the horses in the stable on offense this year with Kevin Swain's return. Everyone's there, so they were going to be in attack mode from the opening whistle, and that's exactly what the Dragons have been. Of course, the first half was so sloppy, but in the second half, that's the New York Dragons offense that the league has feared.
So a 24-point lead for the New York Dragons. And what a day for Aaron Garcia. Still just the 205 yards passing. That 300 number is kind of magic in the AFL. 300-yard passing game means you've had a huge game. Just the 200 yards passing for Garcia today, but more importantly, 6 touchdowns versus the 1 interception. And the numbers on the other side of the ball, not nearly so pretty.
Just remember, 50-yard field. So you're not going to accumulate the yardage in the same chunks as you might in the outdoor game. So 200 yards is pretty significant, but as you said, if you get the 300, that's just a monster game. I would equate that to at least a 400-yard game in the stadium game.
Hunky Cooper picks the Verona's kick off the nets. Looking for some running room. Chris Angel closing down from behind on the stop at the 11-yard line, and now just 48.9 seconds to go in the ball game.
Said Bonner looks like he's going to come back out again. That tells you what kind of competitor he is, because he very easily could have said, hey boss, let's shut her down today. Try again another day. But he wants to go out and get something done.
Well, you know, there are a few players that are going to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the coach is willing to let you keep going back out there.
See, but I'm of the opinion a guy has come back from injury with a bad knee at this point.
Yep.
I'm not sure I want him out there. That's my season right there, and they've got a lot of work to do already to try and get back.
Bonner throws down the sideline for Hunky Cooper, but instead finds the fans in section 117. And it will bring up second down. 8 stops for the New York defense. And really, you can't credit all of them to the New York defense, because Arizona has done its fair share to stop itself today.
Just been a miserable day on all accounts. The second half started well for Arizona. What do we have, about 2 crisp drives?
Yep.
And then after that, it all disintegrated again.
Bonner throws for Cy Burley. He got it between 2 defenders. Billy Parker and Will Holder. And Burley with the nice effort after the catch. And now a late flag. Going to come in for a late hit.
They go like a little frustration on Randy Gatewood, but let me tell you why. He saw Parker, number 7, Billy Parker, trying to punch the ball free. And then as he tried to punch the ball free, Randy Gatewood took exception to that, because from their position, we're already down, and we're mad and frustrated anyway. You're not going to punch my guy. And
personal
he went after
foul,
him.
unnecessary roughness, 17 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
See, it's not a penalty anyone likes to see. Randy Gatewood's going to get it. But you know something? Todd Shell will privately say, at least I've got a guy who takes up for his teammates. Because watch Parker, number 7, at the end of the play. See him? Well, he's really trying to punch the ball free, and that's where Gatewood said, hold it a second. You don't take a shot at my guy that way. And that's when he came in and got the penalty.
So the ball moves back to the 18-yard line. Clock running, 20 seconds to go. Hunky Cooper met by Chris Angel and a host of New York Dragons. They say he stayed in bounds, so the clock continues to run, and now the Rattlers will take their final timeout.
Trying to get a cosmetic touchdown to feel just a little bit better before they go to the locker room and regroup.
So New York is going to go to 3-1 and stay in contention for the lead in the Eastern Division of the AFL, with that tough game in Philadelphia next Sunday at noon Eastern that you'll see here on NBC.
And they will go to 3-0 at home this year.
Yeah.
Trying to turn this rapidly into a Dragon's lair. Because if you can control the home field and go out and steal about at least half your games on the road, that puts you in great position for the playoffs.
And Arizona, this being a non-division game, they get another chance to regroup and work on playoff hopes next week when they host the Los Angeles Avengers, a Western Division foe.
A must-win game next week, I think, for the Arizona Rattlers.
10 seconds to go. Bonner throws incomplete. Intended for Gatewood. Bonner ending up on his backside once again. And Richard Harris applying the pressure for the New York Dragons.
And that's the fear of having him in the game at this point.
And just the frustration for Coach Shell. They were a -3 in their turnover ratio coming into this ball game. The Rattlers were. They've been intercepted 5 times already, not taking care of the football. 6 fumbles, 5 times intercepted. They've had another fumble and 6 more interceptions today. And that just goes right to the very basics of football, is you've got to take care of the ball.
22 turnovers all of last season, Alan.
Yeah. And Gatewood can't catch up to the Bonner pass, and Bonner once again ends up with a good look at the Nassau Coliseum turf. And it brings up 4th down with just 2 seconds to go in the ball game.
And who collapsed the pocket again? Number 66, Marcus Owen, who's played one terrific game in the middle of the defense.
So Cedric Bonner, 19 of 43 today, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the final play of the ball game coming up. It is a 4th and less than 1, and the ball at the 8-yard line of New York. Bonner throws inside to Gatewood, can't get it to the goal line, and the ball game will end there with some frustrations afterwards. So the New York Dragons hand a solid thumping to the Arizona Rattlers by 24 points to remain undefeated at home and extend their record to 3-1 on this season. I don't know about you, Charles, but we talked about at the top of the game, Arizona needing to protect the ball, New York needing to keep Aaron Garcia on their feet. That pretty much turned out to be story of the day.
Especially in the second half for Arizona, New York keeping Aaron Garcia on his feet. First half, neither side got any traction. Second half, almost all the traction went to New York, and they capitalized. Arizona had a brief flurry, but could not sustain it.
Yeah, and the other thing for New York, too, as far as Aaron Garcia was concerned, they were helped some by blown coverages.
Yes.
By, they had, what, two
that we saw back-to-back.
Yeah, three touchdowns just with wide open receivers. And so the Rattlers with some work to do when they get back to practice this week. And for Waylon Harding and his New York Dragons, an excellent day's work here in front of their home crowd. And again, that tough divisional matchup next week when they go down to the city of brotherly love to take on Tony Graziani and the Philadelphia Soul. 61-37 final score for Charles Davis and Otis Livingston. Alan Bestwick saying so long from Nassau Coliseum. Here's Al Trautwig in New York.
Welcome back to the Subway AFL on NBC Studio. Al Trautwig joined by Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Tommy Maddox, who played in the AFL for the New Jersey Red Dogs, all part of his ascent to getting back to the NFL. So the New York Dragons win this game and do so quite convincingly over the Arizona Rattlers. How scared should Arizona be? They think they get back Cedric Bonner, which they do, and now they've lost 4 straight games, even though he returns and he puts that AFL record 6 interception mark up there.
Well, I think it's concerning. This is not the way they wanted to start their season off, especially with the new coach coming in. And, you know, I think it's tough. They've never been in this situation before as a franchise. They've never lost this many games in a row. They've never been this far behind the 500 mark. And so they're going to have to really go in this week and try to make a lot of changes to turn this thing around.
You know what was weird, Tommy? He didn't miss by just a little bit. He missed by a lot.
Yeah, he was off all day. Yeah, even the ones that didn't get intercepted. He missed a lot of open receivers. And in this league, you only get so many chances. You get stopped a couple of times. Most of the times you're going to get beat. And he just didn't look like himself as we've been accustomed to seeing him as an AFL quarterback.
Meanwhile, on the day, Aaron Garcia passes 650 career touchdowns in his AFL career, and he's with Otis Livingston at the Nassau Coliseum.
All right, thanks a lot, Alan. Here with Aaron Garcia. Aaron, 11 years in this league, was that one of the strangest first halves you've ever seen?
One of the ugliest first halves, and I know it's one of the worst first halves I've ever played. And but that's for the character of this team right now, the way the defense is playing, kept us in the game early, and then we caught on fire in the second half.
Head coach Waylon Harding said that it's the first time that you guys have had all the horses in the stable. Talk about having Kevin Swain out there to add to all the rest of your weapons.
Yeah, it's great to see, and you know, we were excited to be back, but the timing's still not there yet, and we got to keep going. We got there in the second half, and we got to build on that, and we're young, and we're going to do that.
Was it at all a little bit difficult to watch your good friend Cedric Bonner struggle out there? I mean, he threw an AFL record 6 interceptions in this game.
It was really tough. You know, I watch all of them. Hunky, all those guys, Cedric, great football players, but it's almost like you're a rookie when you have to pick up a whole new system. You know, I went through it last year, and it's tough.
All right. 3-1, New York Dragons. Aaron Garcia. Back to you, Al.
Okay, Otis, a pretty good day for the New York offense and the New York defense, so the Dragons go to 3-1. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Soul were at home. John Bon Jovi was there. Great atmosphere. Everything was fine until the second half. Now, this game started with Dallas just knocking Tony Graziani all over the place, and you wondered when it would kick in. When would that slow down Philadelphia? Meanwhile, Clint Sterner hooking up with Bobby Scipio, and then Jason Shelley for a couple, and Dallas just rolled. I mean, Philadelphia didn't score a point until there were about 3 minutes gone in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think that this game was a tale of two halves. The first half, both teams were going up and down the field, scoring a lot of points. There weren't many stops, if any. And then all of a sudden, you come out in the third quarter, and Philadelphia doesn't score a point in the third quarter. And that was that's what turned the game around. Dallas stayed on a roll. Philadelphia stalled for a little bit, never could catch up.
The odd thing is that now Tony Graziani has thrown 7 interceptions, and depending on how Cedric Bonner factors in, he could be leading the AFL in that regard. What happens when you're Graziani? You come in, you're the big free agent, you're expected to be the guy, and yet you don't have the same sort of targets that you had on your Los Angeles team a year ago. The pressure, everything that goes into his head must be really complicated right now.
Well, it is, and I think that that's something that's always overlooked. The free agent market at any level of any sport is always, let's go get this guy or that guy, and you might fit into a system and you might not. And not to say that Tony isn't going to fit in Philadelphia, but you still have to learn those guys. You still have to get used to everything again. You're starting to learning a new system with new guys. It's a tough thing, especially at the quarterback position, to step in and start playing well right away.
Let me ask you a question. I know it's advertising and it's sponsorship and it's important. They've got this patch on their jersey. Here it is. And we all know what store it's for, but would you really want, as a quarterback, to have a bullseye on your chest?
No, I think I would start trying to hide
right?
that one over a little bit. Give some target for him, especially it's on his left side. He's a left-handed quarterback. That's not good.
The great suspense of the day, the Grand Rapids Rampage. Could they avoid losing for a 15th consecutive time at home? And the answer is, we're not sure. 63-57 with 92 seconds to go. Columbus and Chris Spielman trailing by 6. Well, Tommy, it's great to have you. I think you lead the league in AFL appearances here.
Well, it's been fun. I love doing it, love keeping up with the AFL.
When do you get back at it? I mean, it's such a 12-month-a-year job now.
Yeah, we'll start right back at it in April and get going again.
And what's going to be your approach from day one?
Well, just like you approach it any other time. You go in, you play as hard as you can, you practice as hard as you can, you prepare like you're going to play every snap and see what happens.
Well, we hope Pat Hayden gets better in a hurry, but it was good that Glenn Parker could step into the breach. Thanks a lot for joining us.
No problem. Thanks.
Tommy Maddox, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't forget, the AFL on NBC returns next Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Time with the New York Dragons taking on the Philadelphia Soul, or the San Jose SaberCats taking on the Orlando Predators. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. Then tonight on NBC, beginning at 7, 6 Central, it's an all-new Dateline NBC, followed by a Law & Order triple header, Criminal Intent, Law & Order, and Special Victims Unit. Thanks to our guest, Tommy Maddox. I'm Al Troutwig in New York. You've been watching the AFL on NBC.
Come on, feel the thunder, there's a rumble in the house. There's a rumble in the house. Come on, feel the thunder, there's a rumble in the house.
Tiger Woods, after an untied